Live from Edgard, Louisiana, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana high school football playoff action. Tonight it is a semifinal in Class 1A as the defending state champion Logansport Tigers, seeded 5th in this year's bracket, take on the top-seeded West St. John Rams. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder, along with a legend in the River Parishes, Terrence Jones, former Lutcher standout and Tulane great, Tulane and Greater New Orleans Sports Hall of Famer. Checks in the mail.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This should be a good one tonight, Terrence. Let's first of all start with this. It's semifinal time. You won a state championship at Lutcher in the era where we are now with the Prep Classic in the Dome. Talk about the semifinal and what these teams are getting ready for here in just a few minutes to kick off, knowing they are one win away from getting to the Dome next Thursday.
I tell you what's happening right now, the emotions are very, very high right now. And what they have to be careful with is coming out too emotionally high and just play their game. Game plan is set. They had a week of preparation for it. A lot at stake, obviously, but they have to calm themselves down and keep the emotion under control, because the team that starts the fastest, under control, usually going to win this game, because it's an emotional moment for both teams. And now Logansport, they're coming into they're the visiting team. I'm sorry, and so there's extra pressure on them to do well. Now, however, they have their record in the history of winning. So these big games, but here tonight, it's a big opportunity for both teams to go back as far as Logansport, but West St. John to take that next step. And I think right now they understand what's at stake, both teams. And they just have to play hard. I remember Washington Marion was our semifinal game in 1983. We was a visiting team, and the emotions were high, and but at the same time, everybody was under control and was able to come out with the victory.
Logansport, we mentioned they are 13-0, but they were the 5 seed in this bracket as the Tigers take the field. They come to Edgard on a 27-game winning streak. They ran the table a year ago, including a win in the Class 1A championship game where they defeated Haynesville 34-28. They were down 28-6 going into the fourth quarter and came back and scored 28 unanswered. Tigers meeting up at the 50-yard line. They're all, 3 or 4 of them waving American flags, headed back towards their bench. And
here we go.
Yeah, we're getting the emotions flowing a little bit here as they came out there. And now the Tigers heading back to their bench. The Rams getting ready to take the field to our right. And you know, I mentioned that. You mentioned, you're right. Generally, the team that gets off to that fast start has a big advantage. But Logansport, having done what they did last year in the Dome, has got to believe in any situation that they could still prevail.
Exactly, Lenny. I mean, when you've been there before, you have something to come to the table with. And I think because they've been there before, they know what's at stake. They got a veteran ball club in terms of these special teams, skilled position players. I think with those experiences, with those extra, if you will, things that goes in their favor, I think it's going to be a good game.
Now, that's what they didn't have in 1983, Terrence, are hashtags on banners that they were about to run through. Hashtag Road to the Dome.
Wow.
We didn't even know what hashtags were back then. So it's
like a tic-tac-toe ball.
Exactly. So these two teams look on paper to be fairly evenly matched. Obviously, you probably give West St. John a slight bit of an edge with the home field. And look, they have been tested. The reason they are the number 1 seed with a 10-2 record is because of the schedule they have played. Their non-district schedule: St. James, South Plaquemine, Bonneville, Clackamas, White Castle. So they were tested in non-district play. As the fireworks go off behind the end zone to our right, as the Rams have taken the field. So that gets you ready. That not only gives you that opportunity, especially when you're a lower classification team, the opportunity to pick up those bonus points, if you will, for the scheduling those teams, but it gets you more battle tested for nights like tonight.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I think the coaches, when they set their schedules, they look at those typical scenarios to get their team prepared for moments like this, because it's very crucial, because then they grew up in those situations, in those big games. And tonight is going to be, as we mentioned earlier, it's going to be very emotional. They just have to play within the confines of the play.
Now, West St. John's got a lot of history. You know, we talk about Logansport, the defending champion. There's a lot of history in the River Parishes, period, but particularly here in Edgard. This is the 19th time since 1987 West St. John has reached the semifinal round. They won state titles in 1998, in 2003, and 2004. They've been runner-up on 5 other occasions, most recently in 2011. The first 7 trips they made to the Dome were under the legendary Laurie DuPont. The last time they went to the Dome was under Robert Valdez, who's now, of course, the coach over at St. James, West St. John's big rival and traditional Week 1 opponent. Now you've got Brandon Walters, who is an assistant to both of those guys, trying to bring his first team as a head coach to the Dome.
And as you mentioned earlier, both teams been there before. Now it's just a matter of them putting it together for 4 quarters, 2 halves within the game plan. Because again, the teams that make the fewest amount of turnovers and stick to the game plan will come out victorious.
Captains meeting at the center of the field for the toss of the coin. Logansport head coach Kevin McGee, of course, led his team to a state championship a year ago. Logansport has one other state championship in its history back in 1995. Kevin McGee was the quarterback on that team, so he is really ensconced in this community, Logansport, which sits right on the Sabine River on the Louisiana-Texas border. You basically cross a bridge on Highway 84, and you're in Texas. That's how close they are to being in Texas. So it was a long trip down from up in northwest Louisiana down, down south of Shreveport with Logansport, and the all-white is going to get the football to start this game with the chrome headgear. West St. John coming out in all black this evening. They've got the white headgear with the blue ram, kind of the opposite of if you were watching Sunday, watching the Saints games, or what the LA Rams.
Please stand for the national anthem.
Getting set for football, but first let's pause to honor America with the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. National anthem from Edgard, where we are just about set for this Class 1A semifinal. Logansport, West St. John, the winner, heads to the Dome for the first of what will be 9 championship games in 3 days. Wow. Good to see all of the title games back on one weekend. The last couple of years, it's been semifinal Friday on the non-select side, and the select championships have been going on in the Dome and really kind of taking a little bit of the luster off of these games. Now these semifinal games on the non-select side have the stage themselves tonight. Only 10 going on around the state. That's like 4th of July or
wow. They're ready, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought you might save some of that for a post-game win. Maybe there's more sitting there. We don't know about it.
Exactly. Well, it's good to see that they have everything on one weekend, Lenny, because, again, people drive in town. You don't want to split it up because, again, kids get that experience as well, playing in the Superdome together and watching other teams. So it's a very special weekend for them.
No doubt. And, again, the winner of this game heads to the Dome to play Thursday at noon. That will be the first of the 9. There will be 2 select finals after that in Division 4 and Division 3. That's the Thursday schedule. Next week, off we go from Edgard. returning the opening kickoff. That is Madrid Johnson, who'll get it out past the 40-yard line, and Logansport will start with good field position. Good return there for Johnson. Came in averaging 25.8 yards a return, got 31 on that one, and Logansport will get it underway from the 41-yard line with Dalton Shaw, the 3-year starter. And Terrence, you were even envious of these numbers when you heard them beforehand. 65% completions.
Wow.
2,792 yards, and his TD to interception ratio, 34-1.
We will take that. Yes. Here we go.
Tresman Brown in the backfield will take the handoff off the left side, spin out of one tackle, get near the far sideline, and up close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be marked maybe half a yard short.
Quick hit on the left side, the line of scrimmage there, right on the outside.
For about 9
Great run.
He's 2nd and 1.
So a good start for the Tigers. Good return and then 9 yards on first down, which 2nd and 1, it's kind of situation I know you like as a quarterback. It's got everything in the playbook there, and you can bring in the element of surprise as well.
Exactly.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 1, it will again be the running back, Tresman Brown, and not much doing. Let's see where they spot it. It's a generous spot, Terrence. They're going to give him the first down. Looked like they might have had him stop short, but they're going to put it down up past the first down markers and move the chains forward. Gain of 1 on the play.
Logansport came out on trips to the field, as you mentioned, and it ran straight directly to the strength of the defense. And you're right, generous spot on that play.
So again, we'll see 4 wide receivers, this time 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, and it will be Brown, the sidecar, along Shaw. And I think we had some movement before the snap, and indeed, that is the case. It'll be a false start against the offense. So Logansport will have to operate behind the chains here. 1st and 15 now at their own 46-yard line.
As I mentioned again, Lenny, the emotions are high. Both teams got to get themselves under wraps here, mentally and emotionally. You want to kill yourself early in the game here.
3 receivers to the bottom. Shaw looking to get out of the pocket, throws, and it is nearly intercepted. And it'll be 2nd and 15 as we get another look at it. Shaw rolled out, but it's hard to throw. A right-handed thrower trying to roll left. It's hard to make that throw, and the ball sailed on him a little bit. That was DeKyrie Jackson nearly had the interception there. He'll get the pass break up, and it's 2nd and 15. Now the draw play, and quickly taken down in the backfield.
Tackle in the backfield
is Brown. That is Horace Lewis. 42 tackles on the season for Lewis, and he gets a tackle for loss there. A loss of 4 on the play, and now it's 3rd down and 19 for the Tigers.
Great play by Lewis there. There was a bubble screen fake to the field, and he just came undone. Beat the guard, left guard, and made a great tackle.
Lewis, 6'2", 285-pound senior. 3rd and 19. This time we'll get the bubble screen, and it's dropped. That was intended for Tremont Doherty.
By number 15.
And it'll be 4th and 19.
Wow.
Number 15,
and we'll see the punting unit come on.
Great play by West St. John's defense. Porter came up and made a great play on the bubble screen again. They were in the zone, knew they was going to try to run that screen, but they was ready for it.
Austin Edgar will do the punting. He's also a wide receiver on this team. Also plays free safety. One of the things in 1A football, you're going to have guys doing a lot of different things. Edgar gets it away. Fair catch is called. Taken in at about the 24-yard line, and that is where West St. John will begin this opening drive with 9:37 to play here in the first quarter. Our first look at the West St. John offense, led by DeAndre Goutier. The sophomore, 5'11", 170 pounds, a 47% passer, 2,220 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Got a couple of 1,000-yard backs behind him in Kylan Due and Nico Davis. Davis was the player of the week last week for the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club at CrescentCitySports.com. They'll operate with 3 in the backfield with Goudier, and we've got offsides, I believe, yes.
Offside on Logansport Tigers. That gives the Rams a 1st and 5.
So Dakota Moody up there, he couldn't wait till the ball snapped. Again,
you talk about that eagerness and wanting. You need to stay calm.
Exactly.
Here early on, and don't let the emotion of the game try to get to you here and work against you. We've seen a couple of penalties at the line of scrimmage thus far on Logansport. So 1st and 5 at the 29. This will be stretch play, trying to get to the corner and getting up near the first down. That is
tackled by Stephen. Pick up about 4 yards.
Like it might have been Wantrell Williams on the carry there, 23.
Yeah.
Bring up a 2nd and 1.
Due and Davis, each 1,000-yard backs, but it's Williams who gets the first carry. Let's see, did they give him the first down? No, they marked it about half a yard short.
Yep.
They've got the chains on the far side marked 2nd down, and they may bring these things across for a measurement. Let's see. Yes, we'll get a stoppage. Oh, no, first down. First down.
First down, Rams.
Saw the whistle. I thought we were going to get the chains brought clear across the field there, but on second thought, they got to look at it. First down, West St. John. So 1 play, 1 first down here, thanks to the offside penalty, and the Rams will operate from the 34-yard line. And again, they'll operate with 3 in the backfield. Due, Davis, and Williams. Taking a shot down the field. That pass is incomplete.
So it appears
that was Asan Maul, the intended receiver, the big 6'4", 185-pound senior.
But that time, Lenny, they had him out in space, the wide side of the field, and the quarterback for Goudier for West St. John just decided to throw it to him. I mean, he's 6'4", so he got a size advantage there on the cornerback. But let's see what happens.
2nd and 10 from the 34. And they'll run across from the motion, and this will be coming this way, running for a first down. Nico Davis, he is a load. At 5'11", 235 pounds, the junior. He'll get 12 on that one and move the chains.
Well, we can see why he was player of the week last week. He's a good talent, and he proved so on that play right there. Good play right there.
And he plays on both sides.
Yes.
He's a linebacker. It's 78 tackles on the season, including 12 a week ago.
Good thing about going both ways, especially in that position. You got a good feet, good eye vision, and he proves so on that point.
Fullback and running back and a linebacker. He's big enough to be a fullback, and we've got a flag. Let's see. It is offside against Logansport.
The same guy. They're catching 44. Dakota Moody. He's a little anxious. They're beating him to the snap count. He's just a little tad bit anxious to get out there.
Yeah. Trying to get off the edge there. So again, we see West St. John operating from this 3 in the backfield look with 1 to either side. Man comes in motion, now turns this into the strong side of the formation, and that was Wantrell Williams once again on a carry. Might have got a yard. Let's wait to see where they spot it.
Pick up about a yard. And
into the near side boundary, where, of course, you got bodies in the way to see exactly where they spot the ball. Got to wait until they move it out to the hash mark. It might end up being no game when it's all said and done.
Against the Rams.
I'll check that. We might have a flag here. Didn't see one come down. It must have come down on the near side here. Yeah. That was the hold up on them spotting the football. It's going to go holding against West St. John. So no play. Instead of 2nd and 5, it's going to be 1st and 15 after the holding call.
First and 15 for the Rams.
The Rams offense look like they appears to have like a power set backfield formation with 3 running backs in their backfield, and it makes them interchangeable. So it gives the Logansport's defense something to think about. It really sets a power formation set.
They've got 8 in the box. They'll take a shot this way. The pass to Dontrell Davis, who will get back to the line of scrimmage before the holding penalty, or close to it. Might be about 10 on the carry. Let's see where the final spot is. Now they'll move it up, gain of 11. Davis on the year, a team leading 21 receptions. What's interesting to me about these West St. John numbers is the average per catch. Trenton Grow averages 34 yards a catch. Dontrell Davis, who caught that pass, averages 26.5 yards a catch. So they can really stretch you a little bit, which obviously is based on the fact they're setting it up so well with their running.
Exactly. And they're doing such a great job all year on the ground. And Nico's been a big part of that.
2nd and 4 from the Logansport 48. Give it away. It's Davis. He will have the first down again. So about the 41-yard line. He is a bruiser.
Yes, he is. Once again, Lenny, this formation West St. John has in the backfield forces Logansport to play sound defense. And West St. John is literally utilizing their talent in Nico Davis to counter that. So far, the game plan is working.
1st and 10 for West St. John at the 41-yard line. We'll give it away, going the other way. That's Kylan Dewey, 35, stays on his feet, 30. First down, West St. John at the 27-yard line. We want to extend a welcome to those of you listening right now on WGSO 990 AM. They're having some technical difficulties out at Berman Stadium with that Class 4A semifinal between Endicott and Warren Easton. When they get that resolved, it'll be Ken Trahan and Don Watney on the broadcast. But for now, glad you're joining us. If you are, first drive of the game for West St. John started back at the 24-yard line. They've moved it all the way up to the 27 of Logansport. Give it away, coming back to the near side. That is Williams once again. He will have first down yardage. Out past the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Another great play. I think they're seeing something on Logansport weak side defensive line there, and using Nico as a decoy, and he getting outside of the tackle. Williams is regularly.
Well, one of the things with this, Terrence, with this formation, is you're not as an offense declaring a strong side or a weak side, which makes the defense have to make a decision. You can deal with it. Now we've got another flag. This is going to be a false start against West St. John. Already we have seen 5 flags in this game, 3 against Logansport, 2 against West St. John.
To your point, Lady, yes, the formation alone dictates what they will do. And as you mentioned, Logansport does not have a clue so far as to which way the ball is going. Nico's a big decoy for them. And I tell you, so far the game plan is working. And still early in the first quarter, see how that continues.
From the 19, first down and 15 for West St. John. Moving right to left. Take a shot towards the end zone. That ball is caught for the touchdown. I believe that's Maul on the far side who made the catch. Just his 3rd reception of the season. It goes for 19 yards and a touchdown, and West St. John strikes first at 6-0.
Well, you got 6'4" going up against 6'1" or 5'7". Who's going to win that battle? He had all real estate in terms of the football field to work with, and Godier threw to the real estate, which threw him to the field and let him move to that direction. And really nice place for football.
This will be Horace Lewis on to try the point after. He's a big guy, he's a lineman, but he handles the kicking here. You'll see West St. John go for 2 quite a bit this evening as well. Lewis's kick is on the way, and it is good. And with 6:16 remaining in this first quarter, your score is West St. John 7 and Logansport nothing. That opening drive for the West St. John Rams covered 8 plays, 76 yards, took 3:21 off the clock. Again, the scoring play goes Goudier to Maul for 19 yards and the touchdown. High school football from CrescentCitySports.com, brought to you by Hancock and Whitney Bank. Want a bank that was ranked among the tops in the nation for business banking? Hancock and Whitney Bank has you covered with nearly 200 locations across the Gulf South. So stop by today. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com.
Well, West St. John declared early that they're going to go to their 6'4 receiver. And both Logansport's cornerbacks, one of them is 6'1", the other is 5'7". So depending on the side of the field they put him on, there's going to be a mismatch. And he has so much field to work with on that play. And that was a great toss by the quarterback.
So West St. John will kick off for the second time this evening. This one headed a line drive back to about the 12-yard line. Brought forward out past the 30. That was Madrid Johnson, I believe.
Yeah.
It's like I tell you what, it is very hard to read those chrome numbers. That was Madrid Johnson on the return to about the 32-yard line. And Logansport will start its second possession there. 6:11 left here in the first quarter. Lenny Van Gilder, Terrence Jones with you from Edgard. West St. John, the early 7-0 lead after the Rams scored on their opening drive. On first down. Good run up the middle that time for Tresman Brown. We'll get it out to about the 39-yard line.
Great play that time on Logansport's part. Hit another quick hitter up the middle, found the seam, and West St. John's defense, great game.
A couple of early scores here in 5A. Acadiana struck first against Hahnville, 7-0 first quarter. Zachary leading at West Monroe, 7-0 first quarter. Remember, everything tonight, winner to the dome. Flags down on the pass that was intended for Patrick Mims. And I believe we're going to get defensive pass interference at about the 46-yard line.
Yes. Great read by Shaw, the quarterback, Logansport. West St. John blitzed with their linebacker, and it was a slant route by Mims. Great call by the referee, let's say.
So it's not a spot foul. Well, actually, they just marked off 11 yards. The foul.
They declared at the foul.
Let's see what they're holding. Let's see. Now they're continuing to move it forward. Now, that's. So they marked it. The ball was at the 39-yard line, and they marked it 16 yards. That's one of the things.
That's a big one
that you struggle with. It was Dontrell Davis who got flagged for the defensive pass interference, and it's you see that at times. You know, just the penalty enforcement and spotting of the football. And, yeah. But now they're talking about it a little more. Let's see where they end up putting it. Now they moved it back a little bit. Okay.
Get it right.
It's still going to be. It's out past it's going to be the 45-yard line of West St. John either way. It's about a 15.5-yard penalty. It looks like now. The previous play started at the 39, but it's not a spot foul there. It's 15 regardless.
Right.
Scrambling is Shaw, looking to throw. Eyes upfield, will take a shot downfield, and it is intercepted. Just the second interception of the year by Dalton Shaw, and it comes from Dontrell Davis, who makes his 5th interception of the season. Davis makes the pick at the 15-yard line.
Great play by Davis in the Rams defense. Shaw did not have anything to. He didn't have no receivers out there. Nobody was working back towards the football. Sometimes when you're in the scramble mode as a quarterback, you're looking for your receivers to help you out, either come back or go deep. That particular time, the receiver went deep, but that was just a little bit short in terms of distance, and he came up West St. John's ball.
So West St. John will begin the second drive after the first turnover of the game at the 16-yard line. 5:23 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 Rams. And again, that triangle set in the backfield. They'll bring one of the backs in motion, fake to the strong side. Now they're going to take a shot downfield, and it is caught at about the 45-yard line. I saw a flag come in late. Let's see what the call is. This could be about anything here. Ball is spotted at the 44. The officials will confer.
Push-up.
Offensive pass interference is going to wipe out the game.
Well, you're going to have this back and forth with West St. John's receiver. I mean, he's 6'4", all right? So sometimes he will push off, and sometimes the defender will have to push back. So, which is great. Great competition on the field between these two guys. And so we're looking forward to tonight, that matchup. And especially West St. John.
You got some talent on both sides of the field. No question about that.
He is a big target.
And they will put it down at the 8-yard line, half the distance to the goal. So it'll be 1st and 18 at the 8-yard line. Yeah. And look, we talk about West St. John having a big receiver out there in Maul. We haven't seen anything go in the direction of John Stevens Jr. yet, the TCU commit who plays both ways. You see him at defensive end right now for Logansport. Very talented player. Here's the stretch play to the far side. Now trying to cut it back this way, really nowhere to go, but manages still to find about 4 or 5 yards on the play there.
Pick up about 6 yards.
Great play by Goulier.
Yeah, that'd be about 5 of the 8 back from the penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 13. 2nd and 13. The ball will be at the 13-yard line. 4:40 and counting here in the first quarter. West St. John with the football and the lead 7-0. The give up the middle that time. That was the big fella Davis. Got just a couple, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Check that. That might have been that was Kylan Dewey, number 1.
That's Dewey. Once again, West St. John's game plan is to put Nico Davis in motion to force Logansport linebacker either follow him, and they go weak side with the handoff on that particular play.
Seen a lot of that thus far, no question about that. 3rd down and 11. The line to gain is the 26-yard line. Again, 3 in the backfield with Goudier, 1 receiver to each side. We'll take a shot coming back this way, and it is incomplete, intended for Trenton Grow, who has a team leading 641 receiving yards this year, but could not haul that one in at about the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Laney, West St. John and their quarterback, Goudier, and their receivers, whether it be Mo or
Grow or even Davis.
They just throw it up. Those guys are talented enough and big enough to come down with it. They have confidence in them.
4th and 11. Rams in punt formation. Quickly an 11th guy coming on the field for Logansport. The punt will roll dead at about the 44-yard line. So Logansport, off of that exchange, credit their defense. Off of that sudden change, you give up the turnover, and they force the 3 and out, get the football back, and now they've got it back on their side of the 50 at the 44-yard line.
So what's happening now, Lenny? The emotions are about to settle down now. The first quarter has come to the end.
3:37 left.
And the emotions are being settled right now on both sides. And now they're about to play football. And so you're about to see now both teams playing like they're capable of playing as actually up to this point.
A couple of slot receivers and then 1 to either side.
Wow.
And a deep shot by Shaw going in the direction of Patrick Mims, and it went right through his hands. And if that wasn't a touchdown, he was going to be inside the 5-yard line, Terrence.
Yes, sir. Great play by Shaw. And a great route by Mims. He faked like he's going to a deep post, and he straightened out with a 9 route, and he just dropped it. Great toss.
And look, that was a confident-looking throw by Shaw. Just coming off an interception. his confidence isn't rattled at all. This is an experienced guy. He's a 3-year starter out there.
Go to show you the confidence the coach has, one quarterback to another, in him as his player, young player.
Now a fullback lined up as Shaw is in the pistol formation. He'll give it away, and nowhere to go for Tresman Brown. The 1,400-yard rusher averaged 11.5 yards a carry, just got stymied at the line of scrimmage right there. No gain.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
But St. John definitely put a wall that time up the middle.
So it's 3rd and 10 at the 42. We'll see what Logansport tries to dial up here as we head toward the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. 7-0 West St. John with the lead. Five wide receivers in the game now. And flags before this one gets stolen. I think somebody kind of leaned forward a little bit and caused a false start before this play could get underway.
Illegal procedure on the Tigers. That would bring up
3rd down and 15. We have already had 8 flags in this game.
Again, the emotions are high. They have to settle down.
Four each way, by the way.
Yes.
It's not leaning one way or the other.
Exactly.
These officials, by the way, we should tell you, are from the Southwest Louisiana Officials Association. Aubrey Matthews, we've seen a lot of him in the white hat tonight. He is our referee. So once again, 5 wide receivers, 3 to the bottom, 2 to the top. On 3rd and 15, Shaw will step up in the pocket, take a shot down the field, incomplete.
Incompleted pass.
And it'll be 4th down.
That time West St. John was in the soft zone again. Zone underneath, man underneath, the zone at the top. Great toss. If he would have thrown a little bit outside to the sideline, far sideline, Lenny, the receiver may have had a chance.
Had a step on his man at about the 10-yard line, but just couldn't get it there. Now it's 4th and 15.
Punting for the Tigers, Edgar. And
Austin Edgar back in punt formation,
Rams.
standing at his 41-yard line. Edgar will get this one away. Fair catch is called for. Receiver's going to let it hit instead, and it will take a West St. John bounce, and it'll be down at about the 18-yard line. So that's where West St. John will begin the next drive with 2:22 to play here in the first quarter. High school football from Crescent City Sports brought to you by Hancock and Whitney Bank. 1 5-star service from a financial institution you can trust. Hancock and Whitney Bank has you covered with expert business bankers and products for businesses of all sizes. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com. So, did you see some good adjustments on that second defensive series from Logansport after really West St. John gashed them the first time down the field?
What they did was they backed off a little bit, the corners, so that way they can let the receivers run his route, and so they can jump him before he get into it, basically.
Benefited from that offensive pass interference call. First down will gain about 4.5 yards. That was the leading rusher on this team, Kylan Dewey, picked up about 4. 175 rushes, 1,434 yards, and 18 touchdowns on the season for Dewey. He's got 22 total touchdowns, also has 4 in the air. Nico Davis has 25 touchdowns on the ground. So these guys are really explosive. Another 4-yard gain, and West St. John will have about a 3rd and 2. That was Dewey again.
Well, one thing West St. John is doing, they're utilizing all the field, the right hash, the middle of the field, as well as the left hash. And good strategy on their part, spreading out Logansport.
3rd and a long 1, let's call it, from the 27-yard line. Final 90 seconds of the quarter. Nice job to make a man miss on the screen pass and room to run. Down the sideline, this is Elijah Boone, and he will be pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Wow.
Borne, I'm sorry, Elijah Borne.
Long pass from Gordon to Bourne, Elijah Bourne.
When you have one of those type of plays, Lynn, a bubble screen, if the defender missed, this would usually happen. A long run, and because there's nobody else out there, because the other receiver, cornerback was occupied, and he made a long run. Great play by West St. John's offense.
Bourne, 5'10", 175-pound senior.
At the 4-yard line.
I'm sorry, it's Bourne, not Bourne. Let's get that right. 69 yards on the catch and run. Like you said, it was just a bubble screen. It was about a 1-yard pass, and it's 68 on the ground. West St. John inside the 5-yard line, and we got whistles.
Tell you what,
See a lot of West St. John fans with their phones out. They need to tell their friends, hey, tune in to CrescentCitySports.com. You can watch it all there.
Stevens came from the other side of the field to make that tackle.
Ran him down. He is a talented athlete playing defensive end because of his size at 6'5", 215 pounds. Obviously, he can use that to get to the passer, but ran down the receiver at the 4-yard line. What a play! And that is Nico Davis on the carry. Looks like he got inside the 2, perhaps about the 1.5. Flag came in. Let's see what the call is. Should come to expect those by now, Terrence. We've seen so many of them in this first quarter. It's a dead ball personal foul called against Logansport, and this will put the football at the 1-yard line.
Half of the distance to the goal line. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line.
It's a dead ball foul, so let's see if it may.
And that's the first down.
I believe it's going to be 2nd and goal. They haven't changed the down marker yet, right? It's 2nd and goal. It's not an automatic first down, and because it was a dead ball foul, the down counts. 2nd and goal at the 1. West St. John looking to punch this in and make this a 2-score game before the end of the first quarter. That is, once again, Davis. I think he got tripped up before he could get in. Got upended. Now they call it a touchdown. Late single, but Davis gets the touchdown with 58.2 left here in the first quarter. It is 13-0 West St. John.
Late call by the line judge there. He came in, and the second effort, I think, Lenny, propelled him over the line.
5 plays, 82 yards, a minute 24 off the clock. Davis goes the final yard for his 26th touchdown of the season. And Horace Lewis come on to try to make it 14-0. Kick is on the way, and it is good. 58.2 seconds. All we have left in the first quarter. And this has really been all West St. John thus far as they lead it 14-0. What has West St. John done, Terrence, to get this 2-score lead? What are they doing best right now?
They take advantage of this matchup on offense with their big, tall receiver and Maul. And not only that, they took the sting out of Logansport early on. And I'm looking at the body language of both teams right now. And West St. John's body language appears that they wanted more. Logansport have to get back into the football game, get back to what they've been doing and knowing how to do, and so they can turn the tide. A lot of football left, Lenny.
No doubt. And this is a team on the far sideline wearing white that knows how to win. 27 consecutive wins. Knows how to come back. They were down 28-6 after 3 quarters in the Dome a year ago and scored 28 unanswered to come back and win their first state championship in 21 years. They're trying to get back to the Dome for a 2nd straight year. West St. John trying to get back to the Dome for the first time since 2011. Another kickoff from the Rams. Juggled a little bit at the 15-yard line. Now taking it to the far side. That is Madrid Johnson to about the 31-yard line, and that's where Logansport will begin with 49 seconds left in the quarter. So Logansport on offense has had a couple of flashes, but really has not been able to really maintain anything consistently thus far, Terrence.
And it appears that because they have a slow start, their confidence level seems like it's going down. They're here for a reason, as you mentioned earlier. They got history. They just have to make a couple of sustained drives, get the confidence level back, and get back to playing football like they know how to. A lot of football left, as I mentioned earlier.
Coming to the near side was Brown and could not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Brown on the catch.
Once again, West St. John's defense is playing stingy football tonight. They're playing with a purpose. And again, Logansport, their body language is as if, you know, they're here, but they're not. So they just got to have some sustained drives, Lenny, to get their confidence back.
And a big play wouldn't hurt either, because obviously they've certainly got the ability to do that when you've got a quarterback at Dalton Shaw who's thrown for nearly 2,800 yards on the season. On 2nd and 11, pass caught, first down. They'll spot it at the 41-yard line, and there is our first look on offense at John Stevens Jr.
Yes.
47th catch of the year, over 900 yards, 15 touchdowns. And if you recognize the name John Stevens, his dad was a great running back at Northwestern State, went on to be a first-round draft pick of the New England Patriots, played in the NFL for many years.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
As this first quarter comes to an end. And a sister who ran track at Northwestern State. He's got a half-sister named Sloane Stevens, who won the U.S. Open this year in tennis. So there is a little bit of good bloodlines going there for John Stevens Jr.
A lot of bloodline, that poor kid, but he has a lot to live up to. Coming from good stock, though, obviously. And he has all the qualities you will want in a receiver on the next level or defensive end, whichever he chooses. But at the same time, they need to go to him more often.
It's the end of the first quarter. West St. John leading Logansport 14-0. More in a moment here on CrescentCitySports.com. Second quarter will begin with Logansport playing 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And this will be, once again, Tresman. Check that. That was Madrid Johnson on the carry that time. Johnson is listed as a wide receiver and has 36 catches on the year. Has also run it 37 times.
West St. John is clogging up the middle, Lenny.
Not giving him much room to run. You see him really stacking up the box right there. Flag is down, and room to run for Madrid Johnson as he breaks through that first line of defense and gets it into West St. John the secondary and into the West St. John territory at the 44-yard line. But hold everything. Let's see what the flag's about here. This will be the 10th penalty of this game. It's an illegal formation.
Too many men on the line of scrimmage.
Or not enough, perhaps.
Second and 14.
Well, what's going to happen sometimes when you bunch like that, you only need a seam or two and a quick hitter, and you get into the second level of the secondary. And that's what happened for Logansport. Unfortunately, the formation they take
took away a 14-yard gain. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and 14 now from the 37-yard line. First minute of the second quarter, West St. John leading this one 14-0. Lonnie Van Gilder, Terrence Jones with you from Edgar on a beautiful Friday night for football. Full moon up above. One of these two teams will head to the Dome Thursday at noon to open up the LHSAA Prep Classic. Near side pass, that was intended for Johnson, incomplete, and it's 3rd and 14.
Jackson on the cover.
West St. John came to linebacker blitz that time, lady. So they're not letting up on against Logansport and quarterback Shaw, because they understand this guy brings a lot to the table. 34 touchdowns and 1 INT.
Before tonight, he doubled that already tonight.
You have to respect that.
in trouble. Shaw can't get away, and he is brought down. That was Coven Barnes, number 9, 11th sacks on the year. West St. John, a lot of sacks out of this front. Barnes with 10, Porter 13, Lewis with 8, Gardner with 15. They can get after the quarterback.
Athletic guys up front, landing with good feet. And can break your seams of your offensive line. And good feet, as well as vision on those guys.
4th and 15 at the 36, and Logansport will have to punt this away. Get you caught up on some scores after the punt. Easier to do tonight with only 9 other games going on around the state. That is good high kick, forced a fair catch at about the 25-yard line. Called by Wantrell Williams.
With a bad catch. The Rams will take over.
It looks like they'll spot the football at the 27. So we're getting the ball. Now to put it at the 26. It's hard to figure out exactly where it is. This ball is going down sometimes with the mechanics. 1st and 10 for the Rams at the 26-yard line. West St. John has scored on 2 of their first 3 possessions tonight. They've got it back for a 4th time with a 14-0 lead. But after the play here, we'll catch you up on what else is going on around the state in high school football this evening. Now we'll get a second back in there, and this is really the first time we're seeing them start a series with just 2 in the backfield, 1 on either side of the quarterback, Goodyear, who will put it down and look to go, and will take the smart route and get out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That's something you can appreciate as a quarterback. Look, live to play another day. Go get a few yards, but get down or get out of bounds and don't take a shot.
What's consistent is in any offense, you want to move the chain, stay in front of down distance, and that time, Goodyear did so.
2nd down 3 at the 33-yard line to catch you up. 5A scores. Acadiana leading Hahnville 21-7 second quarter. I know a lot of people in the River Parishes watching that one. Zachary West Monroe, second quarter, they are tied at 7. They'll give it away to the big guy, Nico Davis. Might have gotten a yard. He's still churning. And then finally they'll blow it dead at the 34-yard line.
What a load, Lenny. They really have to wrap him up.
It's just that's forward progress being stopped. That's not him being brought down.
Exactly.
4A scores. The 2-seed Lakeshore, undefeated. Looking to stay that way and get to the Dome for the first time ever. They lead Rain 13-0 second quarter. Second quarter, the big one at Berman tonight. Edna Carr leading Warren Easton 6-0. Second quarter in 3A, West Feliciana over Jennings 14-7. Second quarter, Richwood and Kaplan are scoreless. That is going to be close to the first down. Let's see if he gets a good spot here. Now, this is interesting. The far side official is basically standing near the first down marker. The near side official put it back at the 35-yard line. Let's see where the ball ends up. It's going to be barely touching the 35-yard line, and this is 4th and 1.
Line judge on this side gave a
timeout for measurement.
Now they're going to measure. Look, this doesn't even need to be measured right now. He's a good 2 feet short.
Line judge on this side. The right foot spot, I always say, if you're on the sideline, the right foot spot, upfield spot with the leg, right leg, or left leg, usually the first down.
I catch you up on the rest of these. Second quarter scores in 2A. St. Helena leading Faraday 6-0. Second quarter, Manny leading Welsh 6-0. The other game in the 1A bracket, a lot of people watching this one want to know what's going on in that one. Kentwood, the Kangaroos, leaving their home territory under the tank, and they lead Oak Grove 7-0 second quarter. So that's the rundown. 9 games.
Good.
That's it. All it took. That's pretty quick tonight. Yeah, we get through them all instead of 3 weeks ago we were trying to get through 100 scores.
Exactly right.
On the opening night of the playoffs, it's a little bit easier tonight.
14, Jennings 7.
They're going to go for it.
And they are going to line up to go for this on 4th and 1. What do you think about this call, Terrence?
Well,
when you're playing with a 14-0 lead.
They have confidence in their offense, and it appears their defense as well. So, they got, I guess, Coach said, let's go for it. And, look, they're playing good on offense right now, West St. John. So why not at this point? Let's see if it pays dividends for them.
You got 2,000-yard backs alongside Goodyear, a 2,000-yard passer. trying to hard count here, perhaps to draw him off sides. No, they'll give it away, and they give it to the big guy, Nico Davis, and he gets the first down. That's just exerting your will right there, Terrence. When you got a 235-pound running back, give the big fella the ball and let him go get it.
And you said it. He exerted his will, and only need one, and he put all his energy in that 1 yard, and it came up.
Got two.
On the plus side for him.
Got two.
Exactly.
From the 37. New set of downs for the Rams. Clock ticks under 9 minutes here in the second quarter. West St. John leading this one 14-0. Get about half of it on first down here as Dewey gets it out to about the 42-yard line, giving 5.
It's great to see these guys going back and forth, going both ways on offense and defense. Lenny Stevens just that time was on the left end, and Nico Davis was the leading fullback tackler on that. And both of them clashed, and the running back just cut it up the middle. Great play by West St. John's running back.
Second down 5. The ball was at the 42-yard line. Closing in on the 8-minute mark here of the second quarter. Having a little bit of technical difficulties if you're watching us on CrescentCitySports.com with some of our replay and graphic elements. We're going to work to get those resolved just as quickly as we can. That ball is caught. What a catch on the far side. That is Maul, the big fellow, 6'4". Look, when you got a 235-pound running back, and you got to be able to take it between the tackles, and you got a 6'4" wide receiver on the edge that you can get it to. How'd you like to have had those kind of weapons when you were playing in high school? Well, yeah, you had Mark Zeno.
Exactly. So Mark wasn't 6'4". You got 6'4" going up against 5'7". I mean, the odds are that you will catch that football at some point. And they're coming up on the plus side of these passes, these targets to Moss.
From the 25 of Logansport. Single back this time. They will throw it near side. This is a similar looking play to what we saw earlier to Bourne. That was well defended that time. Logansport made the adjustment on that little screen pass, and it was a loss of 1.
Quick bubble screen to the field, and gave Logansport an opportunity to catch up and prevent him from cutting back in the infield, in the field of play.
8th play of this drive that began back at the West St. John 26-yard line. Seen a couple of first downs already, one on a 4th down play, one on that big pass play on the far side to Maul. And flags.
Offside on the defense.
That's Jason Urbina, I believe. Is that 67? Or maybe that's 62. Might be 62 over there. Yeah, Felix Coleman, 5'11", 310 pounds. When he moves, they're going to find him. 5 yards on the penalty. So it's 2nd and 6 now at the 21, and what that does, it basically gets West St. John back on schedule instead of playing behind the chains.
Exactly.
He's listed as a nose guard, but they got him playing on the edge. That tells you something
around,
about,
Yeah, they move him around.
Now they'll go screen to the far side at the top of your screen there. Incomplete. It'll be
Davis.
That was Davis, Dontrell Davis, number 10, the intended receiver. And so it's 3rd and 6 from the 21-yard line.
There's a chance right now for Logansport to make a stand here and get something back, at least from a confidence level.
And I think you're looking at 4-down territory right here. West St. John will come out with 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom of your screen, and a single setback. That's Trenton Grow to the bottom, number 7. Maybe look down this way for one-on-one coverage, perhaps. Dewey will switch sides of the formation in the backfield. Now they're going to flare him out. Now they run the slant to Grow, and he gets the first down. It's 1st and goal.
Lenny, goes to show you how important Nico Davis is to this offense. They put him on the short side of the field, which forces the linebacker to go towards him in terms of a slant route. And we have a slant route coming right behind the linebacker. Great read by Goody on the quarterback from West St. John.
basically nobody over the top to be able to help out there. They'll put this at the 6-yard line, gain of 15. First and goal. Up the gut, and did he get in? Looks like he's going to be short, just about a half a yard short. Dewey stopped at the 1-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 1.
Lenny.
And now we're going to see.
2nd and goal for the Rams.
Who will get this one?
See some shuffling up front, it looks like. Maybe they're going to add an extra offensive lineman in there, perhaps. Let's see. Now they're changing offensive lineman. He took Caleb Batiste out and came in with Keelan Gardner, who's normally on defense. Give it away once again to Dewey, and he is in for the touchdown.
1 yard touchdown run. 1 yard touchdown run. Colin Dewey.
An impressive drive for West St. John right there.
Very impressive, as you said. They utilize everything. Their field, with their tall receivers, small. Again, it's all matchup, and they're taking advantage of it. And the running game with Nico Davis, as well as Colin Dewey. So far, so good right now for the Rams. 5 minutes left, 5:45 left in the second quarter here.
11 plays, 74 yards, 4:37 the time of possession. Point after try is good, and it's 21-0. West St. John with 5:45 remaining here in the second quarter. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Football presented by Yale, Collagen, and Rockin' Bowl. Rockin' Bowl, by the way, closed tonight for a private party, but catch Karma tomorrow night and the Yat Pack on Wednesday at Rockin' Bowl. And, of course, every Tuesday, where you can hear great speakers like Terrence Jones, it's the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club luncheons at noon. Next Tuesday, you want to come out. All of the New Orleans area coaches who have qualified to take their teams to the Dome next week will be on hand to speak.
Well,
and, of course, a week from Tuesday, it's our annual Player of the Year luncheon. So 2 weeks left of the Quarterback Club. You want to get out and
I'll tell you what,
out.
man, it's a great time. I enjoyed you guys having me last week. And it's such a good time to expose these local coaches, as well as some of the players, because it's special for them. And sometimes, those things those kids do as well as the coaches, those are history-making situations.
Kicking off for the Rams, Lewis.
So West St. John now 3 of 4 possessions turned into touchdowns. It's a 21-0 game, and they will kick off for the 4th time tonight. That is Madrid Johnson on the return. Stays on his feet, finally falls forward out near the 35-yard line.
Run back to the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 34-yard line. On the tackle of Holzer.
So Logansport needs to get something going here as they'll get this one underway from the 35-yard line. And there's still 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. You don't have to abandon the playbook at this point. You can stick with what you're doing.
Exactly.
Slant on first down intended for John Stevens Jr., just a little low, incomplete. And it's 2nd and 10.
Great call by Logansport offense. Unfortunately, just came up short on that. Great play. Receivers open. Shaw just had to put it on him. He was open.
2nd down, 10 at the 35-yard line. That'll get about 6 or 7 yards. And that was Tresman Brown on the carry that time.
Brown,
they've done a nice job holding Brown in check.
Yes,
he got 6 on that one, but for the most part, he has not been able to break loose thus far.
Not at all.
Brown came in 126 carries, 1,447 yards, and 19 touchdowns. Now this way on 3rd and 4, caught by Stevens. Gets it out past midfield, and he'll be stopped right about there, actually mark at the West St. John 49-yard line. So they go back to the slant play again there, Terrence, and find their big target in Stevens.
And good for them because they need something positive, and that was a great positive play right there. And Stevens caught that ball in traffic, Lenny. So it's going to show you something about his ability.
So first down for Logansport. Across the 50 at the West St. John 49-yard line. 4 receivers, 3 to the top of your screen. Going this way, incomplete. It was intended for Stevens and well defended right there by Trenton Groh. We just saw on the other side make a big catch to force a first and goal. That time from his free safety spot. Got an interception and a fumble recovery in the air and a nice pass breakup right there.
Great pass breakup right there. He turned into the receiver at that point. Great coverage on his part. And usually cornerbacks, those are good measuring sticks. If you can turn into a receiver and on those type of 50-50 balls, that's a mark of a skill set right there.
Well, and that's also great two-way talent that you see at the 1A level. A guy who's playing wide receiver jumps over and plays corner.
Exactly.
So it's to be expected. And it's Groh once again, bottom of your screen, covering Stevens. He'll give it away this time, and room to run. Maybe the best run of the night for Tresman Brown. Down the sideline and out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Big run by Brown. Big run by Brown for the Tigers.
Again, weak side play underneath, handoff underneath. Caught West St. John right outside tackle, going up the field, and he just slipped right past him. Weak side of that line. Good run by Brown.
From the 26 now. Best drive of the night for Logansport. They will really stack it up right here. And this will be a little wildcat look with Madrid Johnson, who take the direct snap, trying to get outside, and West St. John was ready for it, but a late flag comes in. I don't know if this is unnecessary roughness, perhaps a face mask, I'm not sure, but it was a loss of 2, but let's wait and see what the flag is about. It is a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask against the Rams.
Over-aggressive play right there. By I think it was Dontrell Davis. Corner out
First
there.
and 10 for the Tigers.
So they will walk this off.
At the
Put it at the
15-yard line.
14-yard line. It'll be a loss of, well, they mark it from the spot, so it's just it's a 12-yard penalty on the play. Half the distance from the spot of the foul, which was the 28-yard line. So it's first and 10 now at the 14. And
Wildcat is
another Wildcat look this time.
well, they gave it to
And this
Stevens.
was Stevens this time, getting about a yard. So we've seen now in the last 2 plays, we've seen Wildcat with
Pick up
Madrid
1
Johnson,
yard.
now Wildcat with John Stevens.
Gardner on the stop for the Rams.
So it appears right now, Lenny,
Second and 9.
Logansport is going into the bag of tricks. At that point, they need some type of infusion of good.
And they'll
good
do it
things to
again.
play.
And Stevens is going to throw the football, and it is broken up. That was intended for Austin Edgar. So there you really got the bag of tricks that time. You showed Wildcat 2 plays in a row. Now it's a 3rd play in a row. You drop Stevens back and let him throw the football.
That was a great play, great call by Logansport. Just came unfortunate, just a tad bit short in the end zone.
3rd and 9 at the 13. And now we get back to a conventional look with Dalton Shaw taking snaps and Tresman Brown alongside of him. 4 wide receivers. Shaw will throw the fade to the top. Won't get it there. And it looks like may have a holding call coming here, or perhaps pass interference.
Flag on the play.
Flag down at about the 7-yard line. It is pass interference against the Rams, and this will be half the distance to the goal. It'll put it down at, let's see, probably about the 6. They're marking it off for about the 14. They'll put it at the 7-yard line, which basically is where the flag was thrown anyway, so it turned into a spot foul. And it's first and, no, it's not, I'm sorry. That is not, it's 3rd and 2.
It's not at the spot.
3rd and, call it 3rd and 3 at the 7-yard line. It's not, does not carry an automatic first down in the high school ranks. Got to remember some of those things that we take for granted in college and pro.
Yeah.
Give it away up the middle, first down.
That's the first down.
That was
McDaniels on the carry. Be first and goal for the Tigers.
Might have been 42. It might have been Javier Simpson on the carry. I said McDaniel, but I believe that was 42, not 45.
It was a quick hitter by Logansport by Simpson up the middle, and proved to be a great call.
They'll put it at the 3-yard line. He'll get it again, and he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
McDaniels tackle in the backfield by a holster ran.
Give him a loss of 2, and it's 2nd and goal.
That's a loss of 4 yards.
Make it officially a loss of 1, I guess. They put it down at about the 4.5-yard line.
2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
As the clock ticks down now, 3 minutes and counting remaining here in the second quarter, 21-0. West St. John leads it. Fade route, going up top. John Stevens, touchdown, but there's a flag. I believe that's a flag, or is it a towel?
Flag.
There's a flag on the
Let's
play.
see which way this is going. Is this offensive interference?
It was jockeying both ways here, Lenny. Both the corner and Stevens were jockeying for position in the corner of the end zone there.
Pass interference, offense is the call.
Interference on the Tigers.
Well, again,
that is gigantic.
very much so.
Instead of a touchdown, it's a 15-yard penalty that's going to put the ball back at the 19-yard line.
Stevens a big target.
20-yard line.
Both of them was fighting for position
from the 19-yard line. 2nd and goal
against Jackson, West St. John's cornerback, and unfortunately, the receiver caught Stevens. Too much hands.
Got a little nudge in there before he went up and caught the ball. When you're tied up there, it's hard not to sometimes.
Exactly.
It's hard not to. So 2 in the backfield, 1 on either side of Shaw, and flags will stop this before we even get started. Delay of game, Logansport.
Delay of game on the Tigers.
Put it back at the 24-yard line now, where it's 2nd and goal. So Logansport finally gets into the end zone, but 2 penalties now have put it back at the 24-yard line.
I tell you what.
Wait. Now we're having a conference here. Now they put the ball at the 23-yard line. First of all,
Logansport's coaches are livid on the sideline. They're saying the clock needs to be pushed back up. The play clock, the last series, and was not, which is why they got caught on a delay of game. So they're asking the ref for some clarity on the play clock.
Oh, well, guess what? They might have won the argument here. Let's see. Hang on. What's going on? No, now they're going to walk it off. Okay. I saw the ball at the 23-yard line as if to say, and then he went back to the 19 like maybe they said, okay, we agree with you, we're going to wave off the flag, but then they went and marked it 5 yards to the 24. So 2:44 left here in the second quarter. Shaw to the end zone, going for Stevens. It is juggled and incomplete. Couldn't bring it in. Had a hand on it for a minute, but could not hold it in.
That would bring up a 4th down.
So
Correction, 3rd down.
3rd and goal now at the 24-yard line for Logansport.
It appears that cornerback for West St. John, Jackson, is limping a little.
Kyrie Jackson.
Off of that defensive play against Stevens.
It'll be Stevens again to the bottom of the formation, and timeout West St. John. They want to get
timeout West St. John.
Their defender checked out here before they run this play and possibly run it in that direction on a big 3rd and goal at the 24-yard line. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Football presented by Yale College Inn and Rocket Bowl. College Inn, a true New Orleans farm-to-table restaurant open Tuesday through Saturday for dinner, and the home of the New Orleans Prep Sports Hall of Fame. Our good friend Ron Mercado helps make that Hall of Fame happen, and a lot of greats in the New Orleans prep scene are part of that. Let's catch you up on scores while we have just a moment here as we wait for teams to head back out on the field for this 3rd and goal, 24. Halftime, Acadiana leading Hahnville, 28-14. Halftime, Zachary on the road leading top seed West Monroe, 10-7. 4A halftime, it is Lakeshore 13, Rain nothing. They've reached the half at Berman Stadium. Easton and Carr tied 6-6. What a game they've got going on there.
Great matchup over there.
Now going towards the top of the screen and throwing it incomplete.
Pass incompleted.
And it'll be 4th and goal at the 24.
That's a 4th down.
This 4 down territory.
And you got to go for this,
Yeah.
certainly. Besides the fact it's a 21-point game.
Let me hear you.
3A scores, 2nd quarter, West Feliciana leads Jennings 14-13. Richwood leading Kaplan 7-0. That's at halftime. 2A 2nd quarter, St. Helena 6, Faraday nothing. At the half, Welsh has come back to lead Manny 14-6. The other game in the 1A bracket tonight is at halftime. Kentwood leading Oak Grove 13-0. 4th and goal at the 24. Shaw in trouble, gets away, lets it fly, intercepted and room to run, coming back this way. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and brought down at about the 42-yard line. That was, I believe that was Dewey.
Big interception by Grove.
No, check that.
Grove, Trenton
It's
Grove.
Grove. Grove has been kind of shadowing Stevens a little bit and makes the play there. It was 7 instead of 1. Blue numbers on those black jerseys
It's hard
can be hard to pick up.
Well,
42-yard return on the interception by Grove.
Again, Lenny, Shaw tried to get it up and over to his big target, Stevens. What a host of Rams in the end zone, and they came up with the interception. And great return by Grove. Free safety for West St. John.
12-play drive turned into no points for Logansport. And now West St. John with good field position after the interception return. Give it away and room to run. Oh, but what a hit.
Wow.
Appeared to have room to run. Dewey on the carry, and he is brought down. That was Devin Gabriel, the inside linebacker, who just brought it that time. Gain of 4. Looked like, Terrence, when that play started, it looked like there was room to run, and Gabriel closed quick.
He did. He said hello to that fullback of West St. John. Great play.
So 2nd and 6 now at the 46. Inside of 2 minutes here in the first half. Faked it one way, give it away another way. That's Dewey. He'll have the first down. Out to about the 46-yard line.
West St. John is going into their back, not bag of tricks, but their offense. They had a jet stream fake the jet sweep, and underneath handoff, weak side. A great gain by.
That was Dewey, gaining 8. Gained 8. Across the 50 now to the 46-yard line. Minute 30 and counting here in the 2nd quarter. Motion again. Now this time they will give it away. That is Bourne on the carry. Will get about 5 on the jet sweep.
Pick up of about 5 yards.
2nd and 5 at the 41. Clock will tick down towards a minute. West St. John has a couple of timeouts remaining, but I think the main thing you want to do here is you got a 21-0 lead. You don't want to give Logansport the ball back, having a chance to do something.
Clock is on West St. John's side right now.
And they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Don't forget they won the toss and they deferred, so they will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. Clock ticks down to 40 seconds.
Oh.
That is intercepted, and this is going to be a touchdown.
Oh.
John Stevens stepped in front of the screen pass and went 50 yards for the touchdown. What a turn of events right there, Terrence.
Well, one of the things you do, you use your height, and Stevens did. He was on the strong side end. Gould have faked a slant route and tried to throw a quick screen. And Stevens used all of his body, all 6'4", 6'5" of his frame, and snatched it out of midair and ran for the touchdown.
Wow. We're talking about 21-0. Maybe you find a way to pop one. Maybe you get to 28-0 at half. And Stevens, that is just great instinct right there.
Great instinct.
Yeah.
You're right. He baited him in.
Took it 50 yards for the touchdown to make this a 21-6 game. Now the point after coming, that is Austin Edgar, who will try it, and it's blocked. And now it plays dead.
PAT blocked by the Rams. That makes the score Rams 21, Logansport 6.
But lady.
But regardless, look, there's 30 seconds left in a half, and you got to figure at this point West St. John to get the football back won't really try to do anything. But you've just changed the mindset of that team on the far sideline going into the locker room.
And that's all you need. That's all you need. 3 or 4 big plays usually determine the outcome of a football game. That was one Logansport needed at the right time as well. Going into halftime, now the coaches have an opportunity to talk about what just took place and come back in the second half with a different game plan than what they did in the first half. And with some moxie, hopefully, because that touchdown gave them some life.
So it's a 21-6 game.
Back deep for the Rams, Williams and Davis.
We'll see Logansport kick it off for the first time here tonight.
Yeah. See if they would squib it to let the clock run.
See how they choose to go about it here.
Yeah.
Might be feeling good about yourself. Even try a little pooch or an onside kick. Try to steal another possession before the half. Let's see what happens. Edgar set up like he's going to kick it deep. And he does to about the 14-yard line. Far side, trying to come back this way. 30, out past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That was
Williams.
Montrell Williams on the return will take it to about the 32-yard line. So West St. John takes over here at the 32-yard line with 25.6 seconds remaining in a half. Just kneel and take it to the house right now. And
right now, yes. You don't want to have a repeat of what happened the last series, because it definitely could happen. Yes, just take a knee. You're up 21-6. Momentum is on your side. Tad bit lately here. The switch to Logansport with that interception in return for a touchdown. They should be smart, and I think West St. John coaches are smart enough to just run it out.
And indeed, they will take a knee. Wait, did the ball come out?
It's a fumble. Wow.
Fumble on the play, and the Tigers will take over.
And Logansport is going to get the football at the 31-yard line, trying to kneel right there. Officials talking about it. We still haven't seen a signal that it's Logansport football, although they came up with it. Now we see it.
Well, you practice this play over and over and over again in practice, Lenny. Quarterback center exchange. You wanted to kneel right there to go into the halftime, but it was a miscommunication between the quarterback, him being ready, and the center being ready. And these are situations that happens when you don't take care of the minor details.
Logansport with 18.9 seconds left in a half takes over at the 31-yard line of West St. John. Shaw taking a shot towards the near side, incomplete. It was intended for Stevens, and once again, it was Trenton Groh on the coverage. Wherever Stevens has gone on offense, Groh has gone with him, it seems like, especially here in about the last quarter or so.
Matchup is the name of the game. You put your best on my best and see who come out victorious.
14.7 seconds remaining here in the first half. 2nd and 10. Shaw on the slants, got a man open down the middle. 15-10 down to the 6-yard line. Believe that was Madrid Johnson on the catch. Check that. It's 7. It's Travion Doherty. Makes the catch down to the 6-yard line, and Logansport, I believe, used the timeout. 8.6 seconds remaining in the half.
Great read by Shaw on that point. He waved, he looked to the left side of the field, scanned the secondary, and he came back to the strong side and hit Doherty with an in cut right down the seams. Great play. Great pass
First and goal from
and
the
great read by the
5-yard line.
quarterback.
What an amazing turn of events we've
Yes.
seen here in the last minute.
Last minute of the game. Of the first half.
Now,
it goes to show you,
if you're Brandon Walters, you really got to settle down your troops right now. Get them to try to make a play here.
Exactly.
And look, you can make a stop here on the goal line. You can kind of take back a little bit of momentum right here, but Logansport has got a chance to fully take on the momentum right here.
Exactly.
Possibly make this a one-score game going to the locker room when they were down 21-0 a minute ago.
Tigers will
And you
have
determine the
first
outcome of the
and goal
game
from the
by
6-yard
these
line.
sort of plays. And we will remember this play towards the end of the game if it proved to be important in terms of the outcome. But going into halftime, you have to understand the game is still not over. And West St. John let up just a little bit.
Regardless of what happens.
Exactly.
You're right. We've said it a couple of times already. Don't forget the fact that this Logansport team came from 22 points down in the fourth quarter a year ago in the state championship game. Scored 28 in the fourth quarter. Shaw throwing, caught, touchdown Stevens with 4 seconds remaining in the half. You would imagine, let's see what they do. Will they kick it or will they go for two? I haven't seen a kicking team come on. They're going to go for two and try to make this a 7-point game. And both of these teams have kind of struggled with kickers this year. We've seen a lot of 2-point conversions for both of them, so not a surprise that it's happening at this point. Even though the chart says you're down by 9, you kick the extra point to make it 8, stay within a one-score game. So Logansport now a 21-12 game will go for two. 3 to the top of the screen. Shaw rolls that way, will throw, and it is,
Picked up.
I believe it was intercepted, or worse, it was broken up. But anyhow, the point after is no good.
21-12, Rams.
Well, Lenny,
So 3 plays, 31 yards. It took all of 14.9 seconds to get down the field, and in 26.9 seconds, Logansport has scored 12 points to make this a 21-12 game.
so when you relax, this is what happens, all right? When you relax on the football field, the other teams are still playing. And I think in terms of West St. John, going into the halftime, they was taking a hit. Logansport was still playing football, and it proved to be that they're still in the game now, more so. And the momentum, even though they didn't convert, the momentum is on their side with 4 seconds left here in the half.
What do you do here? Do you try to pop a return and let the clock run out?
Just kick it deep, let him catch it. They're going to probably run around, or squib it on the ground. So let the clock run out. 4 seconds left. See, Logansport now, their body language is back, Lenny. They got their moxie back.
They have done this 27 times in a row. They've come away winners. They're not used to being down 21-0, but they also know what it takes to win. And they have put up 12 points in the span of 26.9 seconds to make this a ball game.
And you need that no-quit attitude. You need that no-quit attitude at a time like this, especially, oh, my God.
There's a little short kick that's handled by West St. John on the fly at the 49-yard line. 2.8 seconds left. So now West St. John's got to try to kneel once again, or
no, I will not try to heave one of these.
do you line up and run a Hail Mary right here?
Take a knee and go into halftime and regroup. Now, there's again, center quarterback has changed. Got to be happening right here.
This does not look like
they're going to chunk one.
They might throw it to the end zone. Let's see. This does not look like a victory for me. Then again, it does. You got somebody. Let's see. Maybe not. No.
He's in the gun. Looks like he's going to chunk.
Okay. Let's see what happens here on 1st and 10 at the 49. Now they will take the knee out of the shotgun. Seen teams do that. You're used to running out of the gun. Sometimes it's more difficult to go under center in that situation. Wow, what a first half of football we've seen that has turned on a dime here.
Well, again, a game away from the Superdome, all right? The emotions are high. You're at home. West St. John. Everything's in your favor. Logansport, a team who's been here before, 27-game winning streak. And so what a great matchup in terms of what's on the table. So now it's a new half, 0-0 coming out in the third quarter. Let's see who wanted more.
At halftime, West St. John 21, Logansport 12. We're going to take the break. We will come back with much more of halftime
DJ,
here from
hold
Ed
the
Garn
music, DJ,
on
hold the
CrescentCitySports.com.
Hold your music, DJ.
On in cruise control seemingly, but this game has turned on a dime in the final 30 seconds of the half with Logansport taking advantage of 2 turnovers by West St. John to put 12 points on the board in the final 30.9 seconds of the half, and this is a 21-12 game at halftime. Lenny Van Gilder, Terrence Jones with you. Terrence, let's start with that. I mean, you've seen enough football in your day that you know that got to play every snap, every play, anything is possible, and you try to make your guys believe that anything can happen, but sometimes it takes something like this turn of events of what we've seen in the last 40 seconds or so of the first half to make this a football game.
Well, Logansport was still fighting. West St. John relaxed just a tad bit, and that's what happens. The game is 95% mental, and you have to play every quarter, every half. And obviously, nobody didn't tell that to Logansport because they came up strong in the second quarter there towards the end and made 2 great plays and to prove that they're still a formidable football team, as they're showing, because they have history of coming back, as you mentioned earlier at the top of the show, of in football games. And so the game was not over in the first half, and Logansport understood that. West St. John relaxed just a little bit, and now we have a new ball game, Lenny, as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast here.
The numbers suggest all West St. John. They've outgained Logansport 235 to 94, 110 to 42 on the ground, 125 to 52 through the air. The turnovers were in their favor as well, but that was until the last minute and a half.
Yeah,
Now it's 2-2. It's all even. They've made a couple of interceptions. In fact, we thought that interception return to get it out to the 42, maybe they had a chance to go in and do something before the half. Well, it turned out 2 turnovers later, it was Logansport who was getting it done and picking up 12 points before the break. What are, if put your coaching hat on here, both coaches, what are they telling their teams right now?
Well, for Logansport, obviously they're going in with great confidence for the last couple of series, so they got to be feeling good about themselves right now. Coach is telling them to play whistle to whistle, quarter to quarter, and that's proven to their advantage right now. Now it's 0-0 mentally coming out. West St. John, on the other hand, they have to look at themselves and say they put themselves in this position. They relaxed just a tad bit against a team that was in these positions before, and it's proven that they didn't panic too much, Logansport, and it proved that they were a team with experience. And here you have now a new ball game, 21-12, with a whole half to go. So both coaches are instilling in their players to not give away any indication of the game being over. Play whistle to whistle, and we have a great football game in the second half coming up here, Lenny.
John Stevens scoring both of the touchdowns for Logansport, one on the interception return, one on the touchdown catch after the fumbled center snap exchange that gave them that final opportunity. Let's catch you up on the scores around the state. Again, it won't take long tonight. This is one of 10 games in the non-select side semifinals. 10 winners tonight, head to the Dome next week. We already know the 8 teams who are reaching the Dome on the select side. 9 games coming up next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Starting 5A, third quarter, man, there's a good one going on in Scott tonight. Acadiana leading Hahnville 28-21. Third quarter up in West Monroe. Zachary on the road leading West Monroe 10-7. 4A, third quarter, Lakeshore all over Rain 27-0. The Titans may be on their way to the Dome.
New program, by the way.
Right. Relatively new, less than 10 years old. And third quarter on the West Bank, they got a good one going there. Easton and Carr tied 6-6. 3A, halftime, West Feliciana leads Jennings 14-13. Also third quarter, Richwood on the road leads Kaplan 7-0. That whole bracket, the 3A bracket, was totally blown up. The top 4 seeds are all gone.
Wow.
So you're dealing with already, if you've had a ton of upsets in 3A, and you're going to have, a couple of, you want to call them Cinderellas, whatever, teams that maybe didn't expect to be there, when this whole thing started, that could end up there. In 2A, at halftime, St. Helena leading Faraday 6-0. A chance for another Southeast Louisiana team to possibly reach the Dome right there. Third quarter, Welsh leads Manny 14-6. And in the other game in the 1A bracket, third quarter, Kentwood leading Oak Grove by the score of 13-0. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will get you set for a third quarter of football. It is 21-12. West St. John leading Logansport in this Class 1A semifinal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more after this on CrescentCitySports.com.
your friends who can't make it to the game to watch live on Crescent City Sports.
numbers, you see just how dominant West St. John was for the first 23 and a half minutes of this football game. But those 2 turnovers you see in the bottom right-hand corner have turned this game around and made it a lot closer than it was. West St. John scored 14 in the first, took a 21-0 lead in the second. But Logansport with 12 points in the final 30 seconds of the quarter. Now made it a 21-12 game. Lenny Van Gilder, Terrence Jones back with you on a lovely Friday night for football in Edgard. That's going to get lovelier for one of these teams in about an hour, Terrence, when they know they've punched their ticket to the Dome.
And what's at stake here is an opportunity, again, at least for Logansport, again, to cement what they've already been doing the past couple of years. And whereas for West St. John, to get back to what they've been doing as well recently, as of late, into the Superdome. And one game away, one half away, I should say, and which is everybody's goal back in August.
You want to be in this position to have a chance right now, playing in the third and fourth quarter of a semifinal with a chance to get to the Dome next week. Remember, West St. John won the toss, deferred, so they will receive here to start the third quarter. And I'm going to be very interested to see how the Rams come out offensively here in the third quarter.
Well, they cannot be conservative, I know that, because Logansport now has got a second win, if you will, for the second half. So really nice, interesting football is about to take place here.
And a great shot by our cameraman, Matt Merritt.
Wow.
The fireworks have left just kind of a little cloud over us here now. On a clear night, you could see.
Wow.
Just what the smoke from the fireworks has done here. It's
almost.
Yeah,
like
it's almost. Yeah, it's very interesting. From the 14-yard line, coming back to the near side, looking for a seam, and brought down about the 30-yard line. That was Williams on the return, Wantrell Williams. And so West St. John will get things started they'll put it at the 30-yard line here in the first possession of the third quarter. DeAndre Goodyear was flawlessly operating this offense for quite a while, and then that intercepted screen pass by Stevens, and then the fumbled snap.
Goes to show you how quickly the tide can turn in a football game from a mental standpoint.
2 in the backfield, 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 out to the top. A little bit of a difficult exchange there as it went to Nico Davis, and he might have gotten about half a yard, and clearly you see the energy that this Logansport team is now playing with.
And rightfully so, Lenny. They ended the half with on a great note, and they should continue that approach to the rest of this football game.
2nd and 9, they'll give him a yard at the 31-yard line. First minute here of the third quarter. Remember, it's 21-12. It's still a 2-score game at this point because of the missed extra points there. Davis battling, falling forward. He'll get a couple. And he was hitting the backfield right there. That was all Nico Davis to turn that into a 2-yard gain and make this 3rd and 7.
You're right. But Lenny, I see right now Logansport coming with an extra oomph in terms of their swagger right now. Let's see if they can maintain that, where it's a 3rd down here and 6 to go.
Give him 3 on the play. So the line to gain is the 40. West St. John really needs a 1st down to kind of get things going back in one direction here. Nice looking draw play, but quickly covered up by Logansport, and they will make the tackle on Dewey about 1.5 yards shy of the 1st down.
Gabriel on the tackle.
Devin Gabriel. Great tackle there by Devin Gabriel, the linebacker for Logansport. Came up the middle.
It's 4th and 1 at the 39, and it's quickly decision time here for Brandon Walters. And it looks like the Rams may go for it right here.
Hey, there's no more next week. It is next week for some teams, but Coach Walters was like, we're going to get it all right here.
Give it away, and breaking a couple of tackles and getting outside for the first down and much more is Nico Davis. A big play for the Rams across the 50 and out to the 44-yard line of Logansport. He gets 17 on 4th and 1.
Any smart coach will give the ball to his best player. Put the ball in the best player's hands, and let's see him make something happen. And Nico came up big.
Heard this the other day. Your coach, every time when it comes down to it, you want to give your best player running your best play the football. I don't know if that was their best play, but that was certainly one of their most dynamic offensive players. That's Dewey on the carry. He'll get about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
You're right, Lenny, and what a great quote. And 9 times out of 10, you get something positive from having the ball in the best player's hand.
2nd and 7 at the 41. Opening drive here in the third quarter. We're 3 minutes in. West St. John converting a 4th and 1 to get across the 50-yard line and into Logansport territory. Going to add on to a 9-point lead. You see them, seems like they're milking the clock a little bit more as they come out here. They're trying to shorten this football game in the second half. Off the right side, that's going to be close to the first down, about 2 yards short.
But you got to be careful with that approach, though, Lenny, because a wounded cat never fights, never give in. And Logansport is definitely feeling themselves right now. So
give him 4 on the play to the 37. 3rd down and 3. So they converted a 4th down a moment ago. Looking to convert a 3rd down right here. 2 in the backfield, 2 to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Look back to the sidelines. Now Goudier will take the snap, give it away, and guess who? Nico Davis, first down. Gets the edge.
Wow.
Down the sideline to about the 15-yard line. A flag might have come in, though, I think. Let's see. Yeah, flag's at the 26-yard line. So there might be holding out on the perimeter. Let's see exactly where they spot this, because that will dictate just exactly how severe this is. I mean, it's going to come back. They're not going to be in the red zone.
Looks like it's coming back, Lenny. With the body language of the Logansport players, it appears it'll be against West St. John with the hold on the perimeter, as you mentioned, in the secondary hold.
The winner of the half an hour, would you please come pick up your money in the press box?
But I tell you, though,
let's see where they mark it. They will put it down at the 3rd. So the penalty is enforced from the 26-yard line. So give him an 11-yard gain. That was Maul on the carry. Or no, that was not Maul. That was Maul on the hold. I'm sorry. It was Davis on the carry.
Nico is a load.
Yes, he is.
Looking at this kid, he's a load.
So you had 3rd and 3 with the penalty. Now it's 3rd and 2. So it could have been a lot worse. Wow. Back to pass. Got the wheel route there, it looked like, but it was thrown behind Dewey. Came out of the backfield. We haven't seen that look yet tonight, and that was there. He just missed on it. Now it's 4th and 2.
3rd and 2 is such a short distance. I'm surprised they tried that wheel route out of the backfield, the short side of the field. But at the same time, Logansport defense came up big.
This is 4-down territory as well. So it's like everybody else. It's effectively that's a 2nd and 2 play you're running there, because you're going to go for it on 4th and 2 right here. And here comes Nico back in. Play clock down to 7, 6, and now timeout West St. John. They want to talk about this a little bit. Make sure they've got the right play. So 7:50 remaining here in the third quarter. West St. John using their first timeout of the second half with a 21-12 lead. Crescent City Sports High School football presented by Hancock and Whitney Bank. Every business needs a partner they can trust, so go with Hancock and Whitney Bank, voted 2017's best New Orleans area bank by City Business. See how they can help take your business to the next level at HancockWhitney.com.
Every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock in the coach's office.
What a game going on at Scott tonight, Terrence. Third quarter, Conville and Acadiana tied at 35. You want to bet Puka Williams has touched the ball a few times tonight?
A few times, just a few.
Just a few. Fourth quarter, Zachary leads West Monroe 17-7. Fourth quarter in 4A, Lakeshore leading Rain 33-0. Third quarter at Berman, Warren Easton leads Edna Carr 12-6. 3A, West Feliciana has gone on top of Jennings now 28-13 in the third quarter. Kaplan has taken an 8-7 lead over Richwood in the fourth quarter. And jumping down to 1A, the other side of the bracket from this game, it is fourth quarter score, Kentwood 19 and Oak Grove 7. So the Kangaroos looking to get their way back to the Dome, looking to close out Oak Grove. Flag, and I think they might have had 12 on the field.
Yes.
I think we had illegal participation there. All of a sudden, at the last minute, Dewey ran off. So they were in a formation with 12. There's 11 out there, and Dewey ran off. So there indeed was 12. That's going to make it 4th and 7.
Now that's changed
at the 41, and that changes everything.
Yes.
Illegal participation on the Rams. That would bring up a 4th and 7.
They'll come out fairly tight still, just with one receiver split out to the top of your screen. They'll run the toss. This is Davis looking to get to the sticks. He's got the first down. He's still moving. Moving the pile will not go down. They're still trying to get him down, and finally at the 21-yard line. What a play call by Brandon Walters. Looked like something you might have seen on 4th and 2. Instead, he goes with it on 4th and 7 and says, here, stop my big guy, and Logansport couldn't do it.
Once again, you give it to your horse, and your horse proved dividends positively for you. And he carried the whole Logansport's team, appears, for an extra 5 yards.
On 4th and 1, they gave it to Davis. He gained 17. On 4th and 7, they gave it to Davis. He gained 19. Now they're nearing the red zone at the 22-yard line. This will be Dewey looking to bounce it outside. He'll get a couple on first down.
Dewey on the carry. Stevenson on the tackle. Pick up a 2 yards.
Good play by Stevenson on that. If he did not make that shoestring tackle, he might be still running.
I tell you what, the way this is playing out, if West St. John gets a touchdown out of this, this is a tremendous answer to how we saw that first half end. Converting a couple of 4th downs as they have thus far. This is the 11th play of the drive coming up for the Rams. And they will give it away once again to Dewey, and he will get to about the 16-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
But St. John is using clock and running between their tackles with their running backs.
That would be a 3rd and 3.
Dewey and Nico Davis, 1-2 punch is working to their advantage.
From the 16. Give it away once again. Dewey splits a tackle, running, churning, into the end zone, touchdown!
Great answer.
Big 21-yard run by Colin Dewey.
16 yards on the carry by Dewey. And it is 27-12 with a point after coming.
Colin Dewey.
Any team that have to this point in the playoffs utilize all the weapons, and they did on that last series. And the one guy, Nico Davis, I tell you, Lenny, he is special.
And Dewey finishes it off. That is his 20th rushing touchdown of the year, his 2nd of the night. Point after try is good. And with 5:53 remaining here in the third quarter, West St. John with an emphatic answer leads it 28-12. They go 70 yards in 12 plays and takes 6:07 off the clock doing so. And like I said, those couple of fourth down runs, Logansport could have gotten a stop there, been right in position to go back down the field and make this even closer. But those two huge fourth down conversions by Nico Davis, and then Due provides the exclamation point with the 16-yard touchdown run, and now it is a 28-12 game.
Great approach there by Coach Walters for West St. John to use up clock, use the 1-2 punch, and Due and Davis took some time off the clock, much needed time off the clock, and took the win at this point out of Logansport sails for a little bit. Again, still have 5 minutes left in third, 5 minutes, 53 seconds left in third quarter, and another quarter to go. So the game is not over.
No, and keep in mind, it's still a two-score game. Now,
Exactly.
It takes 2 8s to get it. You got to score and get the 2,
Yeah.
but it's still a two-score game at this point at 28-12. Lewis booted away. Line drive, so about the 15-yard line. Some room to run there for a moment, and it closes up quickly at the 34-yard line, and that's where Logansport will begin this drive. That was Barnes, the freshman, on the return.
Now, at this point, Laney, Logansport needs to get a sustained drive. Yes, you want to get 7. That should go. However, 3 points. Obviously, nobody's kicking field goals here. But this drive here will be important in terms of clock management and getting the ultimate goal, which is 6 points.
Yeah, now, you've gotten the score. You're right. Now you got to get the stop. Don't want to give it right back to him. Wow. Good run here on first down. And that is Tresman Brown getting it out near midfield.
Great run up the gut of the West St. John's defense by Brown.
So a gain of 15.
15 yards on that play. Good play.
Outstanding play coming out on first down.
Davis, come to the press box, please. Darnell Davis.
Dalton Shaw threw a touchdown pass to Stevens right before halftime. Tried to go with a little misdirection that time. Faked the jet sweep and tried to run it the other way, and West St. John had penetrated so much it didn't matter.
Well, you're in the middle of the field. You're running the jet sweep. The defense will be balanced. And that's what happened right there. You didn't have any formation shift by the defense because you're in the middle of the football field. So that's what happened in terms of the formation and the jet sweep. Great play by West St. John's defense.
Second down 14, the ball at the 45-yard line. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Looks like some miscommunication on offense right there. That is complete. That was Pegues on the catch. But the running back, I don't think he knew what the snap count was because he didn't move.
It was a quick snap, first sound type of deal.
But the receivers moved, but he didn't. That was
exactly
3rd and 9 at the 50. Shaw going down the seam.
Wow.
Caught and now taken away. Headed back the other way and room to run and sliding down at the 50-yard line. That is Dontrell Davis. It looked like it was a catch, and then Davis just ripped the ball right out as he was about to go to the ground.
It was a catch.
Get another look. I think he just ripped the ball right out of his hands, Terrence.
Well, again, West St. John's defense is being stingy again here tonight. And the receiver, first of all, the ball was thrown in the crowd, and the receiver came down with it. Logansport receiver came down. Madrid Johnson came down with the ball, but he was ripped out of his hands by the West St. John's defender.
So it's 1st and 10 at midfield.
Great play. Great play.
You got Nico Davis lined up wide at the bottom of your screen. You would not want to have to run into him right there on the perimeter, and it's Due on the carry for a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. You know, that first drive, 12 plays, 11 of them were runs to either Dewey or Davis. The other play was a pass. Remember that wheel route they tried to throw to Dewey out of the backfield on 3rd and 2. So everything was to one of those two guys.
Well, and again, you put the ball in your best player's hands. And 1-2 punch, and not only that, you're using the clock. So good things will happen. The chains will be moved or a touchdown, and they got both.
2nd and 8. Give it away. This is Dewey with room to run. 35 out to the 33-yard line. Give him about 15 on the carry. Let's see. Check it. They'll spot it about the 34, it looks like. 14 yards, though. And now you're trying to spread out the defense a little bit.
And that's exactly what they did, Lenny. You spread out Stevens on the wide out there. And there's so much room that he had to cover in terms of that read option.
Run by Dewey.
So at the 34, West St. John, you would ordinarily say, looking to provide the kill shot right here. But based on what we've seen and based on Logansport history, that's not the case perhaps.
Right.
But still, you want to get the lead wherever you can get it to if you're Brandon Walters in West St. John. Give it away once again, Dewey. Might have got a yard.
Dewey on the carry.
Dewey has been the workhorse here with that slashing running style.
Carried it 6 times on the last drive. He's carried it all 3 on this drive. Looks like they're going to make it no gain. 2nd and 10. And that's the one thing here in the second half that West St. John has been able to do is really stay on schedule. They've had nice plays on first down, even if it's 2 or 3 yards. Now they've got to deal with 2nd and 10. Let's see how they handle that.
With the exception of the big plays before the half, I think West St. John has gotten back into their comfort zone in terms of utilizing the clock and altering play calling.
Dewey gets through the line, but he's wrapped up after a gain of 5. So it's 3rd and 5 at the 29.
Correction, 5 yards. That'll be a 3rd and 4.
And again, Lenny, they're not in a hurry. Just picking their best plays for their best players. At the same time, using the clock.
And you're using the clock, and it is got to be your friend right now. Under 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter. West St. John looking to capitalize off the takeaway and add to this 28-12 lead. Fake the jet sweep. Give it away to Dewey. Breaks a tackle. Keeps moving the legs. 1st down at the 21.
Big run by Kellen Dewey.
Well, I'll tell you again, Kellen Dewey is using his athletic ability and his peripheral vision in terms of slicing through Logansport's defense. Great run.
High school football from Crescent City Sports brought to you by Hancock and Whitney Bank. Want the bank named Gambit's best local financial institution for 2016? And you want Hancock and Whitney Bank with nearly 200 locations across the Gulf South. So stop by today. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com. Clock may actually get close to under a minute here. 5 on the play clock. 4, 3, 2. They'll snap it at 2. Give it away to the big fella this time. Going off left tackle and forward to about the 15-yard line is Nico Davis. So after 5 straight runs by Dewey, now you're in the red zone, and Nico gets it there.
Wow. How about looking at him coming in the red zone here?
It'll be a 2nd and 3.
Check it. They give him 7. They spotted that ball back at the 22-yard line. So he actually got 7 yards on that play and make it 2nd and 3 at the 15.
I'll tell you, Lynn, I'm looking at these one-on-one guys. If they're coming up, they're trying to tackle Nico. They're throwing an arm out there, and that won't get it.
And I would have to think too. Let me get to the thought after this play. As there's 4 on the play clock, 3. Now they'll snap it, and it's Dewey to the 10, inside the 10, falling forward to the 5. When you're a 1A school, and we talked about it, you got guys who are playing both ways, and you play the way that West St. John does, where you're just grinding it out on the ground and pounding it and going between the tackles and making things happen. You got a 235-pound running back. That's got to take a toll on teams that are already going to wear down a little bit because you're playing guys both ways.
And they understand that. And then you have some reserves in terms of playing backups that can come in to spare those starters as well to a degree. But at the same time, This is great football on both sides.
We've reached the end of the third quarter. 12 minutes to play in Edgard. Your score, West St. John 28, Logansport 12. Back with the fourth quarter right after this on CrescentCitySports.com. Catch you up on scores from around the state on our CrescentCitySports.com scoreboard, presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl. Fourth quarter in Scottsdale, Hahnville and Acadiana 35-all. West Monroe has come back to take a 21-20 lead over Zachary in the fourth quarter. Our first final of the evening, Lakeshore to the Dome, defeating Rain 33-0. Congratulations to Craig Jones and the Titans. They are headed to the Dome. This will be Nico Davis trying to get the edge off the left side. Not much run to run. Tried to run it to the short side that time and nowhere to go.
Kept him in bounds. The clock is still running, which is good. I guess for West St. John, they're not in a hurry. Red zone here.
Fourth quarter, Edna Carr has come back to take a 13-12 lead over Warren Easton. Could be, if Carr can hold on, would be the 1 and the 2 in 4A. Carr and Lakeshore in an all New Orleans area matchup. Either way, it's going to be an all New Orleans area matchup because you got Easton trying to overtake Carr in that other game. 3A, West Feliciana leads Jennings 28-20. Third quarter, Kaplan leads Ridgewood. Fourth quarter, 8-7. That is on the ground, grinding and churning and getting up to about the 2-yard line is Dewey.
Pick up a 4 yards.
See where they spotted it. Looks like it's right about the 2-yard line. And whistle, we got an injured player. Looks like.
Would Darnell Davis please come to the press box?
That's a West St. John player that's down at about the 3-yard line. While they take a look at him, let's catch you up on what else is going on. In 2A, fourth quarter, St. Helena and Faraday tied at 6. Back it up to the 12-yard line.
3rd and goal from the 11-yard line.
So, Kenny, if I was a betting guy, who you think would they give the I'm sorry, Lenny. Who would they give the ball?
I don't know. It depends on, look, I think you go either way. If it was 4th and goal at the 1-yard line, you knew who was getting the football. In this case, I don't know. Now we see some fresh blood in there right now. So I believe that's Williams set back there. And he's going to take it. Now you got a fresh set of legs, and he's got the corner, and he is in for the touchdown, but another flag.
Williams.
Probably why he got the edge. It's against West St. John once again. Holding once again against the Rams. So mark it off from the 8, so we'll give him a gain of 4 on the play. And you mark it off back to the 18-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 18, where just a moment ago, Terrence, it was 3rd and goal at the 2.
Exactly. We're going backwards here. Now they got to settle down again.
Now,
cannot get too comfortable.
The one thing that's happened, now the clock is stopped, but I mean, you are using up some clock running more plays right here, but that's about it. You'd certainly like to punch this in and definitely make this a 3-score game. Now 5 wide, and they'll run the quarterback draw, it looked like. And that was actually a wildcat look. That was Dontrell Davis lined up at in the wildcat with 5 wide receivers in there, and he did not get much of anything. Give him 1.
When you set up an offense like that, formation like that, it's pretty clear. 9 times out of 10, he's going to run the football. And definitely, he tried that time. Logansport was ready for it.
How about this? They're going to give Horace Lewis a shot here to try a field goal from what will probably be about a 34-yard try. And I mean, this makes it a 3-score game if you can knock it through, no matter what. Lewis will give it a try from 34. Number 34. And flags.
Another flag on the play.
Wow.
They're going to call. They're going to call a sideline warning here. I don't know if this is this a penalty or just a
warning.
It's just a warning.
Sideline warning against the Rams.
So Lewis, who's knocked through 4 extra points tonight, will try this from 34. Kick is on the way, and it is no good. Wide left. Had plenty of leg in it, but just missed it left.
Well, they used up some clock.
They used up a lot. This drive started at 4:07 back in the third quarter, so they took more than 7 minutes off the clock right there, and they will give Logansport the ball back with 9:01 remaining in this game at the 20-yard line. It's still a 2-score game at this point. Don't forget, you see 28-12. Do the math. That's 16 points. That's 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions.
And when you look at it that way, Lane, in terms of the math points, and there's a lot of time on the clock that you have to use.
And they're running on first down this time. That is Tresman Brown, and he got maybe a yard and a half on first down.
But to your point, the clock will be at a disadvantage for Logansport. These 2 scores. They have to score quickly so they can get some time back on the clock. Enough time.
We'll see a little tempo right here. You know, they'll go quickly. They need to at this point. That pass up in the air, batted, nearly intercepted. About 3 different Rams had a hand on that one, on the slant pass that was intended for Patrick Mims, and it's 3rd and 8.
Gutsy call right there by Logansport. But they're trying to get a spark out of the offense. His time is of the essence.
Mims a big target as well. 6'1", 165 pounds. He's just a sophomore. He's going to be a part of this offense for a long time to come. Now going down the left sideline, caught in stride by Stevens. And down past midfield to the 48.
A wheel route, actually a down and out by Stevens. And go there, sorry. Shaw was on the money. Logansport quarterback Dalton Shaw was on the money by wheel route or down and out by Stevens.
Cross midfield to the West St. John 48-yard line. 5 wide receivers for the Tigers. Shaw, they'll run the bubble screen, and it is blown up. Well defended by the Rams right there. That's Coven Barnes, a defensive end, out there handling Patrick Mims, and defended that bubble screen very well. A loss of 2. Second and 12 from midfield.
Wow.
Now they'll throw the screen back to the other side, and a little room to run it out near the first down marker.
Stevens.
I believe that was Stevens. Yeah, he'll get 11 of the 12.
That will bring up a 3rd.
So it's 3rd and 1 at the 39-yard line. The line to gain the 38. They'll spot it about the 39.5-yard line. So it's a long one here on 3rd down. And again, 5 wide receivers. Dropped.
Pass incomplete.
I believe that was Stevens there to the top.
Yes, it was. Right on the money. Shaw put it right at the numbers, right between them, actually on the numbers. Stevens is number 9, and he just dropped. He tried to run with it before he got it.
Yeah.
Typical mistake with receivers, especially young receivers. First down could have been had.
4th and 1 at the 39. Now they're going to go tight here. They got to get the first down right now. And this will be out of the Wildcat look. Madrid Johnson will carry, and he will get the first down. Give him 2. So Logansport converts on 4th and 1, but the clock right now is their enemy.
Yes.
7:13, and it'll start counting here as soon as we get the ready for play. They got to move the chains. And they still haven't wound the clock. And now they will. give it away. This is Brown on the carry.
Brown on the carry.
He'll get about a yard. And there's still a lot of time left here, but
Gain of 1 yard.
of course, do you just go all the throwing right here and just take the run out of it unless you're in a situation like you were a moment ago where it's 4th and 1 and you got to convert. Shaw. Nearly intercepted. That was well defended that time by Coven Barnes, who dropped into coverage from his defensive end spot and got up there and batted it away. It's 3rd and 9.
Dropped a potential game-ending interception right in his hands.
You get another look right there, and he gets that paw up there but just can't haul it in. And it's 3rd and 9. Of course, it's 4-down territory if you're Logansport here with 6:41 to play, down by 16. Shaw will run, nowhere to go. Well defended, and that was, guess who? Nico Davis. From his linebacker spot, got about a yard on the scramble, and it's 4th down and 8 from the 35. Got to get it to the 27 to keep this drive alive. The West St. John fans come alive on the near side. Shaw taking a shot down the field. Incomplete. No flag.
The Rams will take over.
And it will be West St. John's football at the 35-yard line with 6:08 to play. Terrence?
Well, Logansport had a pretty good, decent series there, but they came up short there and tried their best in terms of trying to hit Stevens.
That's it.
On the far sideline.
That's it. You key play, you go to your key guy, and they went to Stevens. Just could not get it to him. So West St. John, 6:08 left. This is your 4-minute offense right here. Now you need to try to move the sticks and make first downs.
And again, still be mindful of this is still a football game going on. You cannot relax as they did before the halftime and gave up points early on in the series.
4 wide receivers in the game. They will give it straight ahead. Flag comes in. And it's illegal motion coming against West St. John, which will nullify this play. So while they assess the penalty, let's see if we get some updates here on what's going on elsewhere around the state and what has been a really good Friday night of football. Overtime in Scott. Hahnville and Acadiana tied at 35. Wow. So
still a 1-point game at the Carr and Warren Easton.
13-12. Fourth quarter, Zachary has gone ahead of West Monroe 26-21. Carr still leads Easton 13-12 fourth quarter. West Feliciana 31-20 over Jennings fourth quarter. Richwood has gone ahead of Kaplan 15-8. That is now, check that, that is now a final. Richwood defeats Kaplan 15-8. Wow. Flag, and we're going to have offsides. That was Jason Urbina, the nose guard, who just plowed in there. So now the penalties basically offset themselves, and you got 1st and 10 right back where we started from again. So Richwood to the Dome. St. Helena and Faraday still tied 6-6 fourth quarter. Also into a fourth quarter, Welsh leads Manny 28-18. A final now. Kentwood has defeated Oak Grove 19-7. Kentwood, the Kangaroos will get the winner of this one. Will it be West St. John? Can they get through this final 5.5 minutes and punch their ticket to the Dome for the first time since 2011? Using the clock as their friend here as it continues to run. They'll take the play clock all the way down to 2 before they give it away. Spinning away from a tackler, but losing 1 yard on the play is Dewey.
Losing a yard, yes.
Loss of about a yard.
So 2nd and 11. So what we know thus far, we've got 2 teams here this evening, or 3 teams, I should say, that have gone final. Lakeshore, Richwood, and Kentwood are in the Dome. What a game going on in Scott. Hahnville and Acadiana tied at 35.
35 yards.
Keep them all up to date on the CrescentCitySports.com scoreboard. Sponsored by the All-State Sugar Bowl. Flags. Or is it it's against the Rams, so it'll be 2nd down and 16, I believe.
Illegal motion on the Rams.
Now, they've only run one play. That's counted, okay? But yet they've taken 1 minute and 47 seconds off the clock because you've also had 3 penalties in all of this as well. So 2nd down and 16, the ball at the 30-yard line.
Wow.
And that will not get anything. And in fact, it's going to lose quite a bit there. Dewey's going to lose about 4 yards. And at some point here, if you're Logansport, you got to think about using those timeouts, and I think they just did right there. Yeah, 4:09 to play. Yeah. It's going to be 3rd and 20 from the 26-yard line when we resume. So let's see what we've seen tonight here. We got overtime. We got a 1 in 5A. We got a 1-point game in 4A. We got a 1-score game that's going final in 3A. We got a tie game in 2A. We've had some terrific football here on this semifinal Friday around Louisiana. And really, this is no exception. Don't let the score fool you. This has been an extraordinarily entertaining game.
Exactly.
You go back to that last minute of the first half when it looked like West St. John maybe had a chance to go in and put up a score before the half and make it 28-0, and bang, Logansport scores 12 points in the final 30 seconds of the half to make it 21-12. And you got to tip your cap at this point to the Rams in the way they responded out of the locker room. They got punched in the mouth before the half, and they came out and responded in a big way. A couple of 4th down conversions in that opening drive of the 3rd quarter for a score.
Good teams normally do that, and West St. John this year has been a pretty good football program, and they proved positive for them tonight. So far.
3rd down, 20. Give it away. Just looking to run the clock right here. You get maybe a yard for Dewey. And it'll be 4th down and 19. And no timeout, I believe, yet from the Logansport side. They're going to let it run.
Well,
and, of course, on the other side, West St. John is going to let it run and use every second they can possibly use before this football gets snapped. And they still have not started the 25-second clock. Now they do.
Started, yes.
You let this thing run all the way down before you punt it. That's if you even run the play before it gets to 0. You might just take. Now they'll punt it at 9, and we got a bad snap, and it's going to be the punter trying to make something out of this, and the ball is going to go out of bounds at the 10-yard line, and all of a sudden, Logansport has got a short field to work with.
Again, Lenny, 4 quarters, 2 halves.
You got to finish, right?
You got to finish.
1st and 10 from the 10-yard line for the Logansport Tigers.
These mental miscues by West St. John, hopefully, right now is not playing to their advantage, but clock is in their favor. Logansport got to punch this one in.
And then get the 2.
And then get the 2.
You got to get the 2 to make it a 1-score game.
Exactly.
It's 16 right now. It takes 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. So don't go anywhere, folks. 3:13 to play. 3 to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. Fake the look one way, and now into the end zone on a slant, a touchdown.
10-yard touchdown pass.
Logansport has made this a 28-18 game, a 2-point try coming. Another look. Fake the screen pass, Terrence, and then they had the two outside receivers both ran slants, and he went to the deep guy.
Well, who to give to Stevens? Your 6'4" target. Touchdown. Great toss. by Shaw.
Now they'll run it to the outside. Can they get to the edge? This is the big play. No, they cannot. It's defended, and it stays a 2-score game. That is huge if you're West St. John.
They came up big here again
Logansport 18.
on a 2-point conversion.
So we know we're going to see an onside kick coming here. You probably would have seen it either way. But to be able to get that stop now, you still, if you're Logansport, you still need 2 scores.
Well, West St. John has to be careful, and this is the second miscue they had in crucial times of the game, and one right before the half.
Basic stuff. You're talking about
exactly
snap to the quarterback,
exactly
snap to your punter, a high snap to your punter.
They're not paying attention to details. The kids are not being focused because, yes, they're utilizing the clock, but the ball game is still going on. You still got to work within the confines of the football game, and that time again, offensive side of football was a little lax, West St. John.
So West St. John will line up 5 men right about the 50-yard line, 3 behind them and 2 behind them. So basically you're going to have 10 players between the 40 and the 50-yard line for West St. John as you look at this. With an onside kick coming. And it will be Austin Edgar to attempt this onside try, getting it set on the tee at the 40-yard line. Put it down, bouncing.
Wow.
Stevens made the play. This ball did not go 10 yards, Terrence. Let's see. They have not made a call yet.
The line judge is the near sideline.
Right.
Supposed to make that call.
And he's standing at the 49-yard line. Stevens, to his credit, crossed the 50 and reached back and grabbed it. The ball did not, and they will give the football to West St. John correctly at the 49-yard line.
Wow. Football is a game of inches, Lenny, and that was an inch play right there. Great call by the referees. Great play by Logansport special teams, but they needed 1 more yard to get that onside kick.
And then that could have changed things, but all right, still in overtime. Acadiana must have gotten the ball and scored first, 42-35, Acadiana. Zachary now leading West Monroe 29-21 in the 4th quarter. Carr stretched the lead over Easton now 20-12 in the 4th quarter. Give it away to Dewey. Gets 5 on first down.
Pick up 6 yards.
So it's 2nd down and 5 at the 44. And at what point, if you're Kevin McGee, do you use timeouts right here? Now they're going to put the ball back at the 45-yard line. They had it at the 44. Now they've moved it back.
Well, when you go both ways, the human body sometimes get away. Dewey just hopped off the field there under muscle strain is all.
Yeah, Welsh is headed to the Dome. They have defeated Manny 28-18. Same score we have here right now. That was the final from Welsh tonight. On the give. Maybe about 2 for Nico Davis. They'll put it at the 42-yard line. Timeout Logansport. It's 3rd down and about 3 at the 42. And
3rd and 3.
Lenny, Nico reminds me of a young Earl Campbell, just a battle ram.
He is Bruce.
Stocky, legs keep churning. You can't take him down with one arm or one player.
And you know, we're going to have to ask Brandon Walters this question. What's his best position? Is it a running back or is it a fullback? Or is it linebacker?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's run for over 1,000 yards and 25 touchdowns this year, but he's also got 78 tackles, 3 interceptions. Help. I remember 4 or 5 years ago when Leonard Fournette was at St. Augustine and was the #1 player in America by a lot of accounts, certainly the #1 running back. I heard more than one person say if he would play linebacker or safety, he could be the #1 player at that position.
Wow.
He was that good.
Wow.
So
those players are special. They come along every once in a while.
And Davis is just a junior.
Yep.
So remember his name next year. Renee Nadeau, our recruiting analyst, will no doubt be talking about him next year.
Yeah.
And I think this has gone final now. It still says overtime on our screen. Hahnville scored and went for 2 and beat Acadiana, I believe, 43-42. We're going to have to confirm that. But if that's the case, what a game tonight there. And what a run here. And guess who? It's Nico Davis down inside the 25-yard line. And that might have just put this one away, Terrence.
Yes. Up the middle, the battering ram, Nico Davis tonight. And
about to punch this group of Rams ticket to the Superdome.
And that took the air out of Logansport right now. Barring fumbles, interceptions, again, it appears this game is going towards the Rams' favor.
It's a final now from Berman. Edna Carr 20, Warren Easton 12. It'll be Carr and Lakeshore for the 4A title next Saturday at 3:30. Give it to Nico Davis once again. Why not?
Big Nico Davis on the carry.
Give him 3. Timeout.
You got timeout, Tiger.
That's going to be the final timeout, I believe, for Logansport. And the West St. John fans can smell it.
Yes.
They are 92 seconds away from spending their Thursday afternoon. Next week in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, it will be West St. John against Kentwood.
What a great feeling right now for these kids. They put all the hard work into tonight's game back in August, in fact, back in the summertime. And it proves that hard work pays off, and you're being rewarded with a victory and a trip back to the Superdome.
The West St. John fans cheering for the Hahnville final. We will have, it looks like, 2 River Parish representatives headed to the Dome next week. One will kick it off at noon on Thursday. One will wrap it up at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Hahnville waiting to find out who they will play, either Zachary or West Monroe. Right now, last we have Zachary leading West Monroe 29-27 fourth quarter. Give it away to Nico Davis. Inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, West St. John. 21 yards for Nico Davis, and the exclamation point.
Well, hats off to you, West St. John Rams. You're going back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Great play, great run by all-purpose running back, linebacker Nico Davis. I'm telling you guys, if you see this young man, you have to tip your hat to him. Great player.
Davis, was that now 27 touchdowns on the year, I believe? What a talent he is. And again, just a junior.
Has a flag on the play.
The party has started in Edgard, and it might just keep on going till Thursday at noon.
Might take us a minute to get out of this parking lot.
It might. It might just take us a minute to get out of here. They have gone final at West Monroe. The Rebels have gone down to Zachary, 29-27. Hahnville and Zachary for the 5A title next Saturday night. Lakeshore and Carr for the 4A title next Saturday afternoon.
Extra point is blocked.
The extra point is blocked, so it'll remain 34-18.
Logansport, 18.
It's Richwood in 3A. They will likely face West Feliciana. West Feliciana leading Jennings last. We have 38-20 in the fourth quarter. Welsh in 2A, waiting to see who they will face. St. Helena and Faraday are tied 6-6. And in 1A, we know it's Kentwood. It's about to be West St. John.
Back deep for Logansport, Johnson.
Great football game here
No doubt.
tonight, Lenny. Overall, West St. John and Logansport started off playing cat and mouse. Towards the end there, West St. John with a couple of miscues early in the mid part of the game.
No doubt. And look, this 34-18, you think about how Logansport has gotten their points. To their credit, they've taken advantage of it, but it's really been gift wrap from West St. John.
Yes.
The pick six, the fumbled center exchange that led to the other touchdown right before the half, and then the bad punt snap.
Right.
You know,
Well,
that's been it.
That's been it.
You get the
Correct.
squib kick that is recovered at about the 44-yard line, and that's where Logansport will take over with 1:24 to play.
Well,
Oh, wait, hang on. We're going to do it again. I think there was there a penalty? There was a penalty on the play. We're going to do it again. First, they got to mark off the penalty.
Offside.
There was
right.
offsides against West St. John.
they're trying to get to the 10 West, or 10 East, I'm sorry, down on Porges already, Lenny.
That's it. Look, it'll be a short trip for these folks. It's about a 45-minute drive
Yes.
from Edgard to the Dome.
Back deep. Johnson.
Got to wait till Thursday, though, folks.
Looks
Thursday at noon.
like they're getting ready to storm the field there, Lenny.
Now we'll get the deep kick this time. So about the 22-yard line. Looking to make something happen with it, but that was Barnes on the return, I believe. Saw him earlier. He'll take it out to the 39-yard line, and Logansport will take over with a minute 17 to play.
Yep.
You can tell the party has started already at Edgard.
Yes.
First and 10 for the Tigers.
You see the students have already kind of made their way to the track. They are looking to celebrate with their fellow students in the black uniforms. We mentioned Brandon Walters, his third season. He'll give it away on the run. This will be, looks like Madrid Johnson instead of, that was Johnson. He'll take it to the 46 and get out of bounds for about a gain of, check it.
And that's the first down.
Gain of 15 out to make it 16 out to about the 45-yard line. Walters replaced Robert Valdez 3 years ago, spent 9 years as an assistant here, first under Laurie DuPont, then under Robert Valdez. He's been to the Dome as an assistant. Both of those guys, DuPont and Valdez, have taken teams to the Dome as a head coach, and now Brandon Walters is about to join him.
Well, I guess they shouldn't expect anything less from him. On the great tutelage that you mentioned, those two guys, Valdez, DuPont, great lineage of coaches here at West St. John, and history.
Yep,
getting
no
back
doubt.
to the Dome.
No doubt. This will be West St. John's 9th trip to the Dome. They've won in 1998, in 2003, and 2004. They were runner-ups 3 years in a row in the early 90s, 92, 93, 94, again in 2007 and 2011. Plenty of trips to the semifinals along the way as well. And a nice run here, first down yardage.
Completed pass. Johnson.
That is Madrid Johnson on the carry to about the 32-yard line. .56 and counting. They'll wind it here after we get the ready for play. Shaw in the direction of Stevens, incomplete.
Incomplete.
And this is going to be
Let's bring up a
the
third
first
down.
time in this winning streak. This will be now 9 in a row for West St. John since they started 2-2. 16 points is going to be the closest game they've played in this winning streak.
Well, it proves that they're a team to be reckoned with.
Incomplete. That'll bring up a fourth down.
And they've had, as you mentioned, a 9-game winning streak here. So they must be doing something correct.
Now, on the other side, you're about to see a 27-game win streak come to an end. Logansport has not lost since the quarterfinals 2 years ago.
Wow.
But barring an absolute miracle here in the last 46 seconds as the snap is fumbled. And that, now it's 4th down. And the clock continues to run. It's going to run inside 30 seconds. One last gasp here for Logansport. Shaw steps away from pressure, lets it fly towards the end zone. Incomplete.
Congratulations to Coach Walters and his West
And I
St.
think
John Rams.
Brandon Walters just got a bath.
Thursday, 12 o'clock versus the Kentwood Kangaroos.
So West St. John's got to run one play here with 20 and a half seconds left, and they will be in the dome. Let the fireworks begin. They got a couple of more still waiting for us out there in that south end zone.
Well done this year.
So we'll get you caught up on everything here as we wrap this one up. Again, it's Hanville and Zachary in 5A, Lakeshore and Carr in 4A. West Feliciana Jennings still has not gone final. It's 38-26 West Feliciana, but it looks like it will be West Feliciana and Ridgewood in 3A.
Best play, best formation of the football.
No doubt.
Victory
formation. This time, no issues. Let the celebration begin for real in Edgard.
Yes.
They got a little bit of a jump on things. The West St. John Rams, after a 6-year drought, are headed back to the Superdome. Your final score, West St. John 34, Logansport 18. Terrence, final thoughts this evening on this really solid performance by the #1 seeded West St. John Rams.
Well, again, the matchup was great on the paper. Logansport came in here with a 27-game winning streak. You have West St. John with a 9-game winning streak. They're at home. One more game, and both teams have to understand that Superdome is the next place for them next week. But unfortunately for Logansport, they came up short. But it was a great game for West St. John, obviously. But Logansport came in a little flat for some reason. And as you mentioned earlier, they got most of their points off miscues by West St. John. But hats off to Logansport on another great year. Definitely hats off to West St. John as they're going to get themselves back into
back to the dome to face Kentwood. All Southeast Louisiana final. It's going to be a real New Orleans, Baton Rouge area flavor next week in the dome, and that should make for a great atmosphere. Terrence, you've been there as a player, you've been there as a fan. There's no doubt when the area teams are there and it makes that short trip for those people, there is no doubt it makes for a great atmosphere in that building over the course of what will be 3 days.
That week will be great for these guys. Some of the festivities for at least the fans, and obviously the kids got to be focused on the game. But however, get into the dome, this is going to be memorable for them for the rest of their lives. And I tell you what's going to happen now, they're going to put this in their memory bank because West St. John has history in terms of going to the Superdome. But tonight is proved special for Coach Walters, and this is his team, and he's taking them to the promised land.
There you go. He gets to go as a head coach for the first time after going as an assistant. The Rams are headed to the Dome Thursday at noon to take on Kentwood for the first of 9 games in 3 days. It'll be a lot of fun. Terrence, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for your help all season long with us here covering high school football on CrescentCitySports.com.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to doing much more with you, Lenny, and this is great.
All right. We hope to have you down the road. For Chip Merritt, our producer, for Matt Merritt on camera tonight, and for Terrence Jones, I'm Lenny Van Gilder. Once again, your final score, West St. John 34 and Logansport 18. We will see you in the Superdome next week. So long, everybody.